All right, the time is now 6:41, and today is December 4th, and I'm calling this meeting to order. Spanish interpreters, please make your announcements and update us in the chat.
Buenas tardes. Para interpretación en español, van a llamar al número de teléfono 347-966-4114 y van a entrar el código 194-209-117, símbolo numeral. Nuevamente, esa información para interpretación en español es 347-966-4114. Van a entrar el código 194-209-117, símbolo numeral. Por favor, silencie el micrófono de su teléfono al entrar a la línea de interpretación. Gracias. Spanish announcement complete.
Thank you. And can our recording secretary, Chantel, please do the roll call?
Good evening, everyone. Lauren Clavin, First Vice President.
Present.
Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Present.
Recording Secretary Chantel Chambers, present. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
Present.
Members Lou Zhao. Annie Cope.
Present.
Kenya Townsend.
Present.
Paquita Williams. Eric Gretsch. Thank you. And President Quentin Mesden.
Present. Thank you. Got me. No problem. And I want to ask our first Vice President, Lauren Clavin, to please update us about the chat.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being with us tonight. We simply ask that if you are going to participate in the chat, that you keep it respectful. As the chat is now open, we will remove you for reasons we see fit. And if you want to speak later tonight during public comment, you have until 7:45 to sign up. Just type the word "speak" into the chat.
And if council members don't mind, Annie and Kenya to monitor the chat to see who could speak, just to keep that list. Thank you. And I want to give a special president's report, but before I do, I want to first thank our council members and our administrative assistant, Dorinda, for all the work they do consistently throughout these days and weeks during vacation. We do not take breaks as much as we would like to because we value what we do. And I just want to say thank you to council for all the work that you do that goes unseen, but it is appreciated. And those who know, and those who don't, you will find out. And other than that, there's a couple of things that happened. So good evening, District 28 family. And before we get into today's meeting, I want to ground us in the current reality of the moment that we're living in. Not just as council members, but and school leaders, but as parents. Recently, a 6-year-old was taken by ICE, and that impact was in District 30, but it definitely brought us all together. Thinking of a 6-year-old being separated from his father, from his family, just when they were doing the right thing of a routine check-in was alarming. And, it hit us all differently because being on the CEC, we represent K-8. So we know what 6-year-olds are. We all have had a 6-year-old or about to have a 6-year-old. And that's the same age as so many of our District 28 students. And it just, it hit hard because even though it wasn't in our district, it was a reflection of just like what people are going through all over our city at this time. So whether you agree on immigration policy or not, every one of us understand the fear of not knowing if your child is safe. And that's what kind of hit home. And this is not their issue. This is our issue. Because when one child in New York City is unprotected, every child feels the impact. And another thing happened recently around the holidays in District 29. A house was on fire and a grandmother lost her life and a 6-year-old was really, really badly burned. And recently she was taken off life support. And I think about that. The girl was 9 years old, sorry. And, she should have been preparing for the holidays like most of our children. Should have been in school with her friends. Should have had a lifetime ahead of her. And, as District 29 is grieving, their parents are grieving. And as a District 28, we stand with them. So this season is about memories, but it's also about responsibility. This is the season of vacations, of family traditions, of celebrations, and creating memories our children will carry with them forever. But these tragedies remind us all not every family enters this season with joy. Some enter with loss, some enter with fear, and some enter with uncertainty. And that's why here at CEC, we value what matters because our work isn't just about policies and votes, it's about people. District 28, the great, standing together because the border, not just because of the borders on the map, we're great because of how we show up for one another. And tonight, I just want to say clearly that we stand with our families in District 29, in District 30, and in every district across the city, as parents, as advocates, and as a united community committed to every child's tomorrow. So we support their initiatives and they support ours because our children do not live in isolation. Their futures are intertwined and their challenges interconnected and their safety collected. So as we move through tonight's meeting, I want us all to hold this truth. Every decision we make touches a child that we may never meet. A vote that impacts a family trying their best. And every conversation shapes the kind of system our children inherit. So let's move forward tonight with compassion, urgency, unity, because we're District 28 the Great, and we stand with every parent across the city working to build a better tomorrow for their children. So that's my little message. I just want to let you guys know. Thank you. And as we continue, I just want to acknowledge all the holidays coming up because even though we have the common holidays, this is also National Impaired Driving Prevention Month, a nationwide initiative to prevent impaired driving. Oh, yes, I'm totally for that. It's Universal Human Rights Month. It's Safe Toys and Gifts Month. It's Seasonal Affective Disorder Awareness Month. International Sharps Injury Prevention Awareness Month. That's very important. National Car Donation Month. Week-long Awareness Month. National Influenza Vaccination Week is the 1st to the 5th, and Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week is the 1st to the 7th. And National Hand Washing Awareness Week. That should be all month. And Anger Awareness Week. And key awareness days are World AIDS Day, International Day for Abolition of Slavery, International Day of Persons with Disabilities was December 3rd, and Human Rights Day and International Volunteer Day. We also want to say happy holidays to our community, the Jewish community, happy Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa. And that's pretty much all the things we're here to celebrate. So thank you for hearing me out, District 28, the great. And I want to bring up what continues to make us great, our Superintendent, Dr. Blake.
Thank you, Quentin, and good night and welcome to everyone. Just want to continue the moment of celebration that in District 28, we celebrate our differences. We are very different in terms of racial differences, ethnic differences, and language differences, and belief differences. But we just want to be grateful for the space to celebrate and to be grateful. And of course, I'm with you with all the families and students, young scholars. We are here to support them. My district priorities all remain the same. There are 4 of them. One is to have increased outcome in literacy, also to have increased outcome in numeracy, as well as to chip away at the chronic absenteeism that is plaguing our district, and also to continue to elevate and center families, parent voice, and parent choice. Just want to thank Queens Borough President for supporting our schools. We are excited to announce that the Borough President, Donovan Richards, has allocated $40 million to support all the schools across Queens for fiscal year 2026. And guess what? District 28 is very much a part of that group. So we want to give a heartfelt thank you to Donovan Richards for his continued donation, and to Education Director Kat Zapata for her unwavering commitment to our students, especially in District 28, but to the broader Queens community. We are now back to class size. Last year, we were very happy and pleased with the results. This year, I'm happy to announce that all our 35 schools, minus the Early Childhood Center, all the schools have submitted their class size applications, which are now being reviewed by yours truly in my office. And then, of course, it's off to Central. Then Central will further review, and the outcome shall be announced pretty soon, like about a month or two from now. We will be announcing the schools, and I'm hoping that all our schools benefit from smaller class size, will help us to meet the individual needs of every child. So we're very happy for that. It's also a season of gratitude, as called it, our civic engagement, right? We have partnerships between Civics for All and the My Brother's Keeper, My Sister's Keeper has been established, to promote student-led community service and civic action in November and December. So I want to give some highlights. In November, for example, we have letters of gratitude written by our scholars to veterans. MS-72, that middle school, they had a food drive for Hurricane Melissa relief that devastated Jamaica, West Indies. PS-48, third annual Fest of Love food drive for the families in need. They kept that as well. And PS-140, supplies drive for hurricane relief in Jamaica again. So I want to shout out those schools. PS-220 Roars. PS-220 hosted its in-house project Soapbox Showcase with 12 passionate student speakers from grades K through 5. They shared powerful ideas and issues that matter most to them as youngsters, from improving recess in their schools to combating bullying and recycling. Protecting endangered species and rethinking homework were some of the topics that these youngsters, did a deeper dive into. This showcase highlighted the importance of empowering student voices as a major thing in District 28. Student agency is what we're pushing across from classroom and out of the classroom. Continue to shout out with PS349. We are proud to share that PS349 was featured on the news. The meteorologist Tony Sadiku visited the school and gave an engaging lesson on weather to our 3rd and 5th grade students. He was truly impressed by their leadership skills and their professionalism. So what an amazing reflection of the mission and vision of PS349 that lives every day, and also to the broader District 28. So we are very happy to give them a shout out for that. As this is a season of giving, PS174Q. That's more. Can I see that thing? All right. A heartfelt thank you to that community, PS174 community, for their generous contributions to the recent food drive. Through the outstanding leadership of their students and families, they were able to deliver the generous donations of the community to Common Point Food Pantry. And this incredible effort shows the power of student initiative and family partnership in making a real difference for those in need. So the pictures are reflective of those events right there, that event. Shout out also continues to PS54. Nothing says gratitude like good food and great company. So cheers to PS54 for hosting an amazing family Thanksgiving feast over this, that Thanksgiving holiday. This is what it means to be a family and a community. They're coming together, sharing and giving back to those around us. So the pictures are indicative of what I've just spoken about. Queen's UFT Parent Conference was also held. The UFT, in partnership with the district and Queen's Borough President's Office, they provided District 28 families with tools and resources to strengthen homes and prepare for the future. We had workshops that covered health, financial wellness, caregiving, resilience, and emergency preparedness were some of the topics they covered, helping parents to build confidence and community connection. So special thanks to Sonny Raider and my team and Shirley Albin for their leadership and support in making this event a success. frozen. Give me a second there. Middle school reminder, fall 2026 middle school admissions timeline. Friday, December 12, 2025, middle school application closes. Wednesday, April 15, of course, the offers are released. And I just want to make a plug that we have some great middle schools in the district, and we'd love if families consider our schools in District 28 as a school of choice for their youngsters who are moving up from the elementary school. We have it all together in District 28. Congratulations to all our fully appointed District 28 principals who are on tonight on the shout out, that their leadership and dedication will inspire excellence and success in every school community. So we have these new principals who are just being appointed, having gone through the C30 process. Principal Walter, Bremish Walter from PS50, will replace the retired principal. Principal Dr. Green from PS86 also got her appointment. Principal Mac, Zachary Mac from PS101. And also Principal Ancona Lisa from JHS 157. She has been there a while, but everything is completed. And Esperanza, Principal Rosanna from PS 303. So I want to congratulate those new principals, and also want to congratulate the other principals who are with us for a while, who have earned their tenure, which is lifetime commitment. And these are Jones Stanley Duvernay from PS 48, Eric Van Gunten from PS 117, and Principal Nicholas Petrello, PS 220, and Dr. Remy from PS 354. So we want to say congratulations to all those principals, and together they continue to make District 28 the great place it has been. So on behalf of our families, District 28, I wish you a restful holiday and a new year filled with health, happiness, good intentions, and much success. So I want to say thank you very much as we close out the calendar year 2024. I am here to stay the long haul, to stay with you, and to continue to work together in collaboration to make the Great 28 maintain its greatness. Just want to give a special shout out to Dr. Tommy Pate, who has paved the way and has passed the baton to me, and I am continuing the work. So thank you so much. And thanks to all the principals and the families in District 28. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Dr. Blake. And just want to throw in a quick update. Our council member, Jordan Dakemza, he resigned due to personal reasons. So right now, our council has 2 vacancies. So I just want to mention that. His heart is with us. He's still a parent leader. He just had to do things personally. And our next presenter, as Dr. Superintendent Blake started to mention, is the person that I've always heard made this district begin its greatness. She set the foundation for this greatness. So it's my honor to invite our next presenter, our past superintendent.
I skipped one.
Did I skip?
You skipped.
Oh, snap. Listen, we are stay tuned for what I was just saying. Stay tuned. All that energy is coming because I got to back it up a little bit. And I want to invite one of our highlights of the evening as well. This principal has not only been active in the community, but she's been active in all the lives of her school. And I've only heard good things about this school, even considering like where people are looking into. So I would like to take this time now to take that same energy and invite our principal from PS354Q, Principal Dr. Emanuela Remy, and tell us all the great things that are going on at your school.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Blake, for the well wishes on tenure. Thank you so much. I'm not going to hold you guys up because I know you want to hear from the wonderful Dr. Tammy Pate. I've known her a long time, and she is a true inspiration and honestly, my mentor. So let me just present really quickly. Does everyone see? Is there a presentation up there? Okay. Please let me know if you see the presentation. I'm not quite sure if you
We can
see
see
it.
it.
You can see it perfect. Okay. So I'm the proud principal of PS 354Q, the Jermaine L. Green STEM Institute of Queens. Um, I have wonderful assistant principals, AP Davis and AP Tabita, as well as our wonderful parent coordinator, Miss Tomlin. And here we are at one of our events, and we have our motto as making strides on the South Side. That each letter on strides stands for one of our core values. So we made sure that students every day are secure within themselves. They have teamwork. They have resilience. They're inquisitive, dedicated, have empathy, and have self-control. Self-control. They practice this mantra every morning on the morning announcements as a school community. Our vision and mission match to make sure that our students have a diverse environment and our students are taught to think critically with everything based within STEM, and that their voices are amplified so that they have decision making and they have a civic responsiveness in the community. So who we are, we're an elementary school located in the heart of Rochdale Village in District 28. We serve students in 3K to grade 5. Our school was originally founded as a K-2 by Jermaine L. Green in 2011. Um, we have since expanded the school, obviously, to grade 5, and we have both micro classes and macro classes. I'll get into what our micro classes are, as well as having dual language. And as of 3 years now, we instituted STEM majors for our students so that they can start exploring STEM at an early age. And our staff speak the languages of most of the school community, which is Spanish, French, Haitian Creole, and Bangla. Our demographics, as of today, is 536 students. 21% of them are students with IEPs. This is inclusive of our micro classes, which is our NEST classes, and 6% are multilingual learners, which is inclusive of our 3 dual language classes, and we have 12% of our students that are housing insecure. So over the years, we have become proficient, and this is our presentation of the road to proficiency. In 2022, the ELA scores for the New York State ELA was 19%, but as of today, I'm proud to present that we are now at 53% over the past 3 years. Math was at 15%, and we are now sitting at 66%. So we're very proud of ourselves for going over the 50% mark in a short amount of time. And I'm going to tell you how exactly we did that. In looking at data comparison for our school, we are, hold on. For the state, we are equivalent to the state with our 53% and above the state with the 66%. So there are different things that have contributed to our steady ride to proficiency. So a lot of it was Res-OA grants. So the new principals, if you have not or do not think of applying for Res-OA grants, it's a great opportunity to get things for your school because it helped build school culture. So we have basically I want to say over $2 million in Res-OA grants over the past 3 years. That are funding $500,000 is funding our STEM lab, which is supposed to be in full completion by September 2026. We have $300,000 in technology. We've gotten $750,000 for a gymnasium upgrade, which also should be completed in September 2026. $450,000 for an auditorium upgrade, $75,000 for a cafeteria upgrade, and we spent over $70,000 in branding and murals, And this year, we're proud recipients of an $80,000 arts grant because we want to make sure that arts is embedded within our students, because it's also a different way for students to express themselves. We have different programs in our school. So we have our 3K pre-K, which is our early childhood department, grades K through 5, follow the New York City public schools curriculum, but we also embed STEM and arts within that curriculum. We have our NEST program, which is one of the specialized programs that serves autistic learners in New York City public schools. And it's a partnership between New York City public schools and NYU. We currently have this program in grades K through 3, and next year we're going to expand to grade 4. Dual language, we have that program also in our school, which focuses on students becoming biliterate and bilingual in both English and Spanish. Currently, it is in grades K through 2, and we will expand it to grade 3 next school year. For grades K through 5, our class, due to class size, are no more than 23 students, pretty much like school-wide. And in addition to that, like our grades 4 and 5 is departmentalized to help students get ready for middle school. So this is just some pictures of our NEST program, making sure that the classroom is like very muted, and we have a lot of events for the families for our NEST program. You can see that they have in every NEST class, there's a cozy corner, and all of the colors are kind of like muted tones to make sure it sets the environment for them. And we also invite the families to come in all the time to share activities with their students within the NEST program alone, in addition to other school-wide events. For our community, we have I'm not going to list all of these, but we have a lot of different partnerships that we work with. We're part of MBSK. We are also part of the National Elementary Honor Society, which supports our students in grades 4 and 5. We have different activities, enrichments, such as basketball, volleyball, cheerleading, soccer. Our students in grade 2 go swimming this year every Wednesday. And we have different majors, which I'll go into a little bit later. We have clubs for our students during lunch periods for art, dance, sports, and hair. So they learn how to do their own hair to help give their parents a little bit of a break. We have student government, which includes a Supreme Court of Bees. So that is to help with conflict resolution and to have students amplify their voices. And they help kind of like be lawyers and judges for students when they get into trouble. We have a wonderful after school program, SQPA, and we have different activities such as the spelling bee, which we have 2 students going to the Queensboro spelling bee soon. And then we have STEM First Fridays and major showcases. So different STEM majors, as 3 years ago, we wanted to engulf our students into STEM, so we added STEM majors to make sure that students get into like the arts and different things early. And so this year we added arts STEM majors, such as dance and art. So this is just some of them. There's dance, there's fashion, financial literacy, coding, electricity, and engineering are our different STEM majors, as well as art. We have a hydroponics lab where students get to grow different herbs and do different projects. And within doing that, they get to, you see the students in the bottom right, they have a bag. They go home with those herbs and along with recipes on how they can use those herbs with their families at home. So this was great. These bags were given just in time for Thanksgiving. So a lot of students went home with like cilantro, thyme, and different things like that to, put into their Thanksgiving dinners. We have commitment ceremonies at the beginning of every school year to make sure that students attest to their commitment to learning. Teachers take a pledge to commit to students' commitment to teaching, and families take a pledge for their commitment to partnering with the school and making sure that they are there and present within their child's lives. And we do this every school year in September, before the real curriculum starts. We celebrate our students every chance that we get. So we have passion students that get celebrated each month for one of the passion traits. They also get celebrated for attendance. So our attendance is pretty good. Then Dr. Blake had mentioned that it's a chronic issue within the district, but in our school, I think that we're sitting at 92% attendance so far for this school year. We're really proud of that. And it's through the different things. So like short weeks, we do like attendance counts and the kids get treats like ices and parties and different things like that to make sure that they come to school and to celebrate them. We have our student government. And again, I said the Supreme Court of Bees, and part of our student government, we run it like the actual government, where president and vice president run together. And there's a treasurer, and the secretaries represent the grades, the second grade and below, as their voices. And then we have the Supreme Court of Bees, like to support with conflict resolution and different things like that. Also, we have every year our word parade to help with academic vocabulary, which is another reason why we're moving up in proficiency. The students dress up as a particular word, and then part of it is that students do buddy reading. So the big kids read to the little kids, and they ask them different questions. So these are just some pictures of different of students learning in action. So we learn in different ways. The students lead drills. We learn through technology. We learn through small group, and of course, we learn through the person that we're paying, which is the teacher. So they learn in different ways, in the hallway, in the classroom, wherever. And then our famous STEM thing is the Bedell Diaspora. And the Bedell Diaspora comes in June, where each grade is given a country at the beginning of the year to study throughout the year. And in June, they design and recreate the country so that you get to visit said country for free without going through any TSA lines. And they also bring in foods and sounds from the country. So I'm going to see if this works. If you can see it. So this is Belize. And all items are student created. The teachers help, but most of the items are student created through their various research. And of course, nothing can be done without the families. And so we have a lot of partnerships with our families and ways that we celebrate them as well. And so one big thing is that if for active parent involvement, families get to go with their child to a trip to Broadway, to go see a show along with their child. And then this past year, we instituted just a parent-only Broadway trip where they were able to go. And we ended up going to see MJ, the musical. We have different STEM First Fridays where kids come in and the parents, along with their parents, and they learn to partner with their child in doing STEM activities. And they're just students along with their child. Celebrate the students in the passion. We have Grandparents Day. On the bottom right, you had father figures bring your child to school day, as well as a little bit above. And then some of our teachers bring their fathers in as well. And so it truly takes a community to build a school. And so we take pride in that through the school culture, and that helps increase our scores and student and teacher morale. and that is our presentation of PS 354, where we will continue making strides on the South Side.
Man, oh man. Dr. Remy, Principal Dr. Remy, do you know what you just did to us? Like, what? Wow. Like, I'm saying, like, this is elementary school. This is not even, you just set the bar for middle school. Like, where do you go after that? Like, wow. I want to go backwards. This was phenomenal. I don't even, Man, just thank you. Thank you for presenting. Thank you for all that you're doing. These kids are phenomenal. Your school is phenomenal. And just thank you for just seeing what's possible. Like, wow. Thank you so much. And I think, Jennifer, you have something you want to mention?
Thank you so much for that presentation. It's just really wonderful. I wanted to say something. This is my children's originally zone school. I live about a block away. And the scores that Principal Remy showed from years back was what got me nervous about sending my children there. And other challenges that I heard from prior principal. And to hear and see what you've done at the school, I'm just very proud of you and the administrators and the students and the families. This is really wonderful. I want to shout out, I know a student who goes there and he really loves the after school programs. I feel like he said something about going to after school even when the school was officially closed. And I think that actually is helpful for students to do well in school when they have things other than book work to get them excited about going to school, and that will help with attendance and everything. I also share this sentiment. I've spoken to other parents who are in the school, and they've noticed a marked difference with you at the helm and other administrators there. So thank you so much for your dedication and your belief in our students and the students that go there, that are the population there. I just have a quick question. The Reso 8 grants are amazing, and I just want to get a sense, because I would like to share this with schools that I liaise with. Where do you get the grants from?
So for the grants, thank you again for the kind words, and seeing in the chat and all the emojis. The Resume grants, you usually get them from the Queensborough president or from the councilwoman. In January, they open up the application and you should like apply and say like what it is that you would like to get done within your school. They have different parameters about it, but like you get in early and you write a solid plan and you ask school construction authority like how much it would cost, and see things like that. So that way they can go in and put things in, so that you're able to get it. So like definitely, I don't know if it's a first come first serve or how well you write the narrative, but it is like a great way to get things done within your school because um the technology was a big lift, because I came in and I was like, okay, well, what do we have here, like what is happening? The scores are low, but we also need to make sure that the we're living up to the name. Like I always give the analogy of if you go to Burger King, you expect them to serve burgers. So if you come to the Jermaine L. Green STEM Institute of Queens, you expect there to be STEM. So we went around and I was like, well, how do we get STEM going within the school? And the first step was the technology. And I want to say in my first year, I replaced or installed 29 smart boards across the school building. Like just because like they had the old smart boards from like the flood. So like basically like, like the old ones that you can't really see. So we really wanted to make sure that the students had proper technology, the students had proper like learning and, like I switched a lot of like the learning model within the school, and on the school website you're able to see like the flow that we follow, which is also attributes to the increase in the scores like for the students. Like just the teaching model and adding different things helps support students. But yes, the Reso 8 grant, I believe they had a meeting today for the Queensboro president one, and you should definitely apply.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Council Member, Second Vice President. And thank you again, Dr. Remy, for just a beautiful presentation and your leadership. We appreciate you all over the district and the city. People are going to be coming here for this. So thank you. And I want to now bring up our previous District 28 Superintendent who helped shape the great District 28. Office of Leadership, Senior Director, Dr. Tammy Pate.
Oh, good afternoon. Well, good evening, everyone. I have one clarifying statement to make. No person does this kind of big work. We made an agreement. Our CEC and the superintendent's office made an agreement that we were going to do a big thing, and we did. And so every single day, I'm grateful for the work I got to do alongside the Great 28 and all of the folk who lead together. And with all respect, Dr. Blake, you have been there a good amount of time, and I am blown away at what you are accomplishing in D28. So I thank you, sir, because the inner stalker in me has had a chance to just relax and do this work because you have been doing just an outstanding job. So thank you for all that you do. I am going to try to share this presentation. There is a little video thingy in it. Y'all let me know if you have video issues, if you can hear it. If you can't, there's probably not much I can do about it. I'll send it all to you, but I'm going to try. Okay? I feel really also like more confident because, oh, you have it? No, let me do it. Because you can't see, you won't be able to show the video. So let's see. Let's try it. Anybody crossing fingers? Anything? No? No one's crossing fingers for me. Oh my God. All right, let's share.
We got you.
We're gonna share. Do I have advanced sharing options? How many participants? Oh, give me a second. Okay.
Click the share sound button.
There you go. Right. Where's the share sound? Oh, share sound. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Here we go. And we're sharing. Hold on. Almost there. I promise you. Oh, what the? Okay. Present. Any day now. Any day now. Any.
In New York City, our small businesses are not just vendors. They are partners, mentors, and catalysts for student success. I'm Dr. Tammy Pate, Senior Executive Director for the Office of Business Development for NYC Public Schools. So let's get into it.
Vic, I expect to hear something good from you. I took a shot. There you go. All right. Spending money is a mirror of our priorities, everyone, right? If anyone tells you, and you know this is an old saying, like you show me the money, I'll know what you value by where you put your resources. We know those are really popular sayings. It is no different from a system as large as this or any system at all. Where you put your money shows what you prioritize. But we also have to know that education doesn't exist in a vacuum, obviously. It lives within our communities. And a lot of what we heard today is about community leadership going forward and creating some outstanding outcomes. In 2016, the state did a really, really big study. And spoiler alert, we found that there was a lot of problems in how the New York City Public Schools was spending its money. We had some big problems. Principally, we found out that we're not spending our money in ways that reflect our communities. And so Businesses represented by Black and Brown people, represented by women, were underutilized. There was not enough money. Literally 5% was going to that catchment of business owners. 95% of that was going to white male-owned businesses. And so the state of New York said, you know what, you've got to do something about that. The city of New York said, we've got to do something about that. New York City Public Schools said, we have to do something about that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the Office of Business Development came into being. And essentially, our one goal, our big goal, is to expand access, to increase visibility, and open new pathways for small businesses. Now, we started saying, you know, just minority and women-owned businesses, we're going to make it happen. We're going to do some big things. But that has also evolved into local community-based small businesses. We have to ensure that at the local level, they get access to contracts, because we know if we can increase the overall economy in a community, we're going to increase outcomes for children. And so that became our big work. But like anything, I opened by saying nothing gets done by yourself alone. Nothing, not anything sustainable, right? So we had to create partnerships with some interesting folk, great folk, in order to move this work along. And on the screen is just a snapshot of some of our partners. We have a ton of private and public partners. We have Columbia University, the CUNYs, who all have small business hubs and education resources. We have partnerships with private sector and banks and all of that in order to bring resources to small businesses who would not otherwise be able to enter a contract with a mega house like New York City Public Schools. They help us get the job done. We also have things that we do locally. And I eliminated about 20 slides from this deck because I know I have 5 minutes. But we do a lot of local work together that is intended to, one, introduce these private and public partnerships to New York City's schools and districts, but also to give opportunities to our students who are thinking about desiring to be entrepreneurs themselves. And so Campus Coin was birthed in Queens South by our superintendent, Dr. Van Ness. And we have the privilege and honor of partnering with her to expand Campus Coin across not just all of Queens South, but Queens North, Brooklyn, and we are bringing the Bronx on this year. And so it's a great opportunity for our young people to explore the world of business. We also have an education program, and I'm just giving you highlights of some of the work that we're doing. We have an education program, and I really want, please, I know you know businesses. I know you know people who desire to have a business. This is what we do every single day. Share the word. If they want to grow their business, this year we have 4 categories, including that really important one, foundational level. That is for folk who don't even have a business yet. Or maybe you just got it together. We're going to help you grow your business in order to then be competitive in the contract space. So if you're curious about Expand You, there'll be contact information at the back. We want to help you get into this world of contracting. And so I talked about partnerships earlier. Some of the things that we insist on our partnerships is that they give back to schools and districts. And so one of the things we had Amazon do was build sort of cozy corners and supply closets for our scholars who may be in temporary or unstable housing, who may be new to the state of New York, city of New York, or to the country. And they stock these closets around the city free of charge. That's what I call a give back, because every one of us has an Amazon box landing on our front step. And so when I spoke to their senior leadership, I was like, you want to do business with New York? Well, you know, New York kind of needs a helping hand. And so that's the kind of stuff that we demand from our partnerships, just to let you know that the work is moving forward. And so we have sort of an idea around like the cadence of how you build, right? So D28, you are identifying local business champions. You're aligning your district's educational goals We say all the time, I can't have a partnership in my school if you don't respect what I'm trying to accomplish. So it's not just about the work we do with partnerships. It's about what happens in every one of our schools. You have the power to identify business owners, or folk who are curious about owning a business and bring them in contact with us so that we can help them to grow. Again, when you increase and improve the economy of your local area, you are going to increase the outcomes in student academics. And I'm not saying that because it sounds really good. I'm saying that because after 3.5 years of my dissertation study, I have proven that emphatically. So I just want you to, we always say, oh, I learned this in school. When will you ever use it? What I learned in school is that there is an unbreakable connection between economy, economics, wealth, and student outcomes. And if we can tighten those bonds, we can do some really, really great stuff. And so part of my job moving across the city of New York is to encourage people to think about and to consider this. I open sometimes in a funny way with money, 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 money. It's nice. It's funny. It's fun. But the work is really, really serious because on the back ends, we're going to bat. We are going to bat to increase our opportunity to get contracts for local small businesses. And so everything we do, and by we, I mean you and me, helps us to improve outcomes for children.
When you come to the Small Business Expo, there's such a positive vibe. There's so much connection happening. There's definitely a can-do spirit in the room. From the beginning, we knew immediately that the first thing we had to do was just blow the doors open to get human beings in front of each other.
So you know why I'm excited, right? To be your ambassador in service to people.
When Office of Business Development first launched, it was launched in response to a problem. And that problem we identified was that our spending to minority and women-owned businesses, small businesses, was only about 5.5% of our overall $10 billion spending budget. Today, we are trending towards 25% utilization at the school and district level. So there's a lot to really be proud of, but that also convinces us that we've got to keep going in this work. We know from every bit of research there is, the stronger the economic base for families and children and communities, the better prepared children are to learn. So a Small Business Expo brings small businesses in closer proximity with purchasing officers.
Talk to them about how you help them do the work that they need to do.
This is the beauty of the Small Business Expo. The streamlined procurement process benefits the school community because parents, teachers, and scholars receive residency programs, professional development, as well as goods in a timely fashion.
You don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to run into with all the like-minded individuals that's here. So when you're doing the right things with the right intentions and the right motives and help people along the way, the blessings will come.
Business Development Group, let me tell you, I really love them. They are amazing. They are going to introduce you to the right people. They're doing training if you need the training. They're helping you do your marketing. They're giving you the feedback, coaching. They are literally holding your hand to do this business. And they do what's best for those kids.
All New Yorkers deserve an opportunity to thrive in this amazing city. Not just those who have and have always had and will always have. The average person deserves access.
I hope you notice how we were featuring big time D28 in that video. I'm trying to see if how I get to the next page. And so I want to just close with this. We are just around the corner, like tomorrow, like a few hours from now, the largest expo really of the entire year. The expos that we sponsor across the boroughs pale in comparison to what we get to do in Queens. And that's because we outside, y'all, right? And Queens is where we get the money. I'm just saying. So I want to invite everyone, like in hearing, in under the sound of my voice, I want to invite you to join us at York College. We've procured a whole bunch of parking spots for you all. So come on over, drive over. Tomorrow from 9 to 12, we are welcoming over 100 small businesses and across every industry and category of utilization for schools. Come and meet some new people. There's going to be a lot of good food. We have a lot of food vendors. And so come and walk the room. If you have time, if you can make the time, please come and support like what is happening, this movement across the city of New York. The Office of Business Development, this is very, very much mission driven. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop talking in a second, but I got to end with this. We are very, very mission driven. This work is about our children. And it's about the adults that support them. So please come out, join us. You don't need to call ahead. We will be at York College from 9 to 12. Show up and say, I'm from the CEC or I'm from D28. And I'm going to make sure you get some of Jess's pudding, which is the best I've ever had in my life. Oh my goodness. I'm Southern, y'all. And I'm telling you, it's the best you've ever had in your good life. So please join us there. If you'd love to be in contact with us, do me a favor, everyone. President Quinta, I'm sorry, I'm getting off in 2 seconds. Could you please scan that QR code and please join our newsletter? I told our media person that I was going to make sure that I get at least 50 more people to join our newsletter. We do not drive you crazy. We do not spam you. You will get one notification a month, and it just tells you all of what we're doing. And I really want D28 to get it because we're going to be taking pictures and video with you all, and we will feature you in the upcoming newsletter. And I thank you for an opportunity to speak to you all tonight. I thank you for an opportunity to support all of you and small businesses and the community into the future. Dr. Blake, you are doing the whole thing, and I'm so thankful for the work you do.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Pate. Man, we just bringing the fire tonight. Okay, great school and great presentation. Thank you. And if anybody can make it tomorrow, that looks phenomenal. Free parking, free food, and free pudding, I heard. So it's like this is sounding real good. And Council Member Alicia, you had a question you wanted to ask?
Yes, good day, Dr. Pate. During your presentation, you mentioned that spending for women-owned businesses used to be 5.5% and it is 25. What is it spending for?
So that is all contract and non-contract areas. So we were, again, at the beginning of this work, we were at 5.5% utilization. That is everything that is used in or on or around school buildings, including curriculum, teaching materials, equipment, paper for the bathrooms, cleaning materials, work, painting in the building, all of those areas. So across all industries, including transportation and food service, all of those areas in total, we only spent 5.5% on minority and women-owned businesses. We have significantly increased that. Last year alone, we were up to $800 million in spend, which we feel really, really proud of, but it also is a long way to go to getting any level of balance. I'll use that word, balance.
All right, thank you again. Wow, you got the emojis, you got the claps, and you're gonna get some attendance tomorrow. And if I'm late, if you could save me some pudding, I'd appreciate it. I like pudding. Um, so our next presenter is from our New York City School Construction Authority by External Affairs Manager Danielle Schaff.
Hi, good evening, CEC28. What a warm welcome. Thank you so much. He just introduced me, so here I am, Danielle Schaff, External Affairs Manager for Queens South. I've been with the agency going on almost 12 years, and it is an honor to come to CEC28 every year and be able to present our capital plan amendment. It's so nice to see so many. Well, first, Dr. Pate, it's so nice to see you again. Dr. Blake, so many of our principals that I get the privilege of working with on a daily basis. Dr. Remy, what a presentation. Dr. Pate, I don't know how I'm going to follow those two. It's going to be a little tricky, I'll be honest. So I will try my best. I did piggyback onto two things already, though, from Dr. Remy and Dr. Pate's presentations. One was a lot of information I posted in the chat about Reso a brochure that SCA puts out. So all of our principals that are on, or any of the folks that are interested, it gives a lot of details on how to start applying for, who to contact, what's eligible. But my information is also in the chat, and I'm happy you want to send any emails to me, and I'll direct you to the folks that you need to get to in SCA to figure all that out. I also piggybacked off Dr. Pate's presentation, and I put our SCA program. We do a wonderful program for our MWLBE, and we have mentor and graduated mentor. So I put those brochures in there, and it shows about how, if people are interested, how do you get started? What are the requirements, and what are the benefits of our programs that we can help to, catapult folks forward. So that's my intro. And what I'll do is I will jump right into our presentation on our capital plan. I'm joined this evening by Queens DSF newest member, Deputy Director of Facilities, Mr. Carmine Francesi, and he has a couple of his colleagues on as well. So between SCA for me and Carmine, I'm sure we'll be able to answer a lot of your facility questions this evening.
You're sharing your email.
Oh, well, we don't want to see that, do we?
No.
Let's get rid of that. Sorry. Let me cancel that. I'll try again. I think it worked this time. Are we seeing the presentation, Quentin?
Yes.
Great, finally. All right. So my agenda this evening is to go over an overview of our November amendment for our 25 to 29 capital plan. I'll talk about some of the highlights, capacity program, our capital improvement projects, which are on our existing buildings, our Reso A program, MWLBE, and talk about our CEC priority project requests. We'll take, of course, comments and questions with the lead of our president. So the first thing I'll talk about is our budget. So our current budget is $20.9 billion for this capital plan, a slight increase from last year. So we're happy about that. Always happy to get additional monies for our schools. So we have divided our budget in a couple of different buckets. One of our big ones is our capacity program. So we're almost at $7 billion on capacity. Capacity is the creation of new seats in our school districts. Our second, our leading bucket actually is our capital improvement projects, or our capital improvement projects for our existing buildings, and that is at 7.92 billion. Our healthy schools, that is at 2.3 billion. This would include projects such as cafeteria enhancements and as well as electrification projects, moving away from fossil fuels. And another bucket is our mandated programs, which is at 3.72 billions. These programs include things like boiler upgrades and so forth. So just a couple of highlights within our capacity and our plan that we just talked about to break it down a little bit further. A new capacity, creation of new seats, is at 6.13 billion. Currently, the money that we have allocated for electrification of our existing school buildings is at 1.4 billion. We have technology allocation of 1.25 billion, 800 million for accessibility projects in our existing school, bringing them up to ADA codes. Physical education space upgrades, that's a big one, $40 million on our existing spaces, and $150 million for our cafeteria enhancement programs. Okay. Regarding our capacity program at almost 7 billion, again, a little repetitive, I'm sorry, 6.13 billion for the new seats. We have $400 million that we have allocated for our replacement program. Replacement program would be defined as sites that we currently have, let's say as lease sites that need to be either a lease needs to be renegotiated, or we need to find a new site to get a new lease for. That's the money that we allocate with the understanding of these leases that are coming up for renewals. We also have capacity to support TCU removal. This would be the creation of a new annex or a new addition in order to be able to remove the TCU and have compensation for the seats of the TCU removal loss. How are we going to do that? And that's the money that we have set aside in order to accomplish that. With TCU removals, we have playground redevelopments. When the TCUs are removed, we need to redevelop the area in which the TCUs were sitting. Early education, we have $200 million allocated for that. Currently, what we're getting to is our district specific information. So for currently, the increase or the creation of new seats within this district are for a conversion project or room conversion project that we're working with district planning and our superintendent's office with to help be in compliance for class size reduction. And that was at junior high school 157 for 46 seats. We have recently, in the past, let's say 5 to 6 years, have opened a lot of new additions within District 28. So dating back like the last decade, we have PS50 came online with like 800 seats. PS303 had a huge addition, 196, 144, 174. So we have done a lot of work with new buildings in recent years at District 28 to help with the capacity there. We're moving on to our capital improvement projects. So a big question comes up a lot is, how does an SCA project get created? So SCA has a couple of different avenues in which we use and tools that we use in order to create new projects. One of our big ones is every year SCA conducts a BCAS or Buildings Condition Assessment Survey. We do these surveys annually in each and every one of our school buildings across all 5 boroughs. We rate everything in all these buildings, soups to nuts, electrical components, structural, mechanical, you name it, we're rating it. We will assign a number, an assessment number, to each specific condition. Things that are rated a 5 are considered in poor condition, and those are the items that SCA looks to address on an annual basis. As the numbers get lower, that means the conditions are in better condition. And those items we don't normally get an opportunity to look at or fund, as we need to prioritize our 5s and keeping our buildings watertight and safe. Another way that a lot of our projects become projects is our colleagues at DSF will report the issues to us and alert us to different conditions that are perhaps outside of DSF's capabilities financially, monetarily, and they will pass it to SCA so that we can begin to address that. We have mandated repairs that we do in our existing school buildings. We have Reso-A projects that are created with the generosity of our council and borough president, all of our elected officials, and we have our CEC request forms that we look at. Projects that we use here are exterior masonry projects, replacements of windows, parapets, flood eliminations of buildings outside on the exterior, roof replacements, repairs, accessibilities, new playgrounds, an auditorium, and gymnasium upgrades. So this slide below will show the highlights so far in our plan. So our plan is relatively new. It goes to 29. So we're just kind of in the beginning of this plan, and you can see we have a lot of projects assigned already and a lot of monetary investment in the district. A couple of the big highlights here is to point out is that we have 2 window replacement projects at our District 28 schools, totaling $17.8 million. 3 roof replacements, $16.5 million. 1 electrification project, $16.5 $1.798 million. So these are only some of the highlights. You can look at our plan and get the entire list, but these are the big ones. Okay, so Reso A, I'm going to build on Dr. Remy's presentation a little bit. So Reso A projects are capital eligible, school-specific capital improvement or enhancement projects that are funded by our New York City elected officials. I wanted to share with you a timeline. So again, to repeat Dr. Remy, January is about the time when elected officials start to contact their schools to identify potential projects. It's also a good time for principals to do outreach to their elected officials as well. That time period is from now till about March, and then in about May till June, the city budget negotiations and approvals occur. July 1st is the beginning of the new fiscal year. In summertime, schools are notified of their awards by their sponsor, by their elected official that is awarding them the grant. In late fall to next early spring, the SCA then receives final budget authorization from the Office of Management and Budget. The SCA will begin scope and design process, and schools are contacted by their project team about a month following the Office of Management and Budget's approval. Okay, so these are some of our Reso A highlights currently in this plan, in our 25 to 29 plan. Again, it'll continue to grow, and you can see the rest of them on our capital plan, on our website. A big one here for us is that we have 44 auditorium upgrades, estimating cost totaling over $19.3 million. We have 23 science labs that are being upgraded and renovated at $11.3 million. See, Dr. Remy, I get to add your gymnasium upgrade in here now because we just kicked that off.
Awesome.
Yeah. What was that? Just Monday we did that, right?
Yep.
So moving forward with our MWLBE slide, again, SCA is really dedicated to increasing the participation of minority-owned, women-owned, and locally based business enterprises in our SCA projects, including through all of our MWLB targets on our projects. We also run a mentor program, which provides key support and access to capital and business opportunities for qualified, emerging MWLBEs. Within District 28, I wanted to point out the work that we're doing with MWLBE firms within just this specific district. In fiscal year 25 alone, in School District 28, we've awarded $28.1 million in prime contracts for CIP work or capital improvement work to 3 MWLB firms at 3 different projects. This represents 23% of the contracts for CIP work in District 28. Okay, so this slide has a lot of information on it. And I will, of course, provide this presentation to our CEC for posting on your website or dissemination. I can also stick it in the chat once I'm done. Regarding our CEC priority project requests, every year there's a submission. Each November-ish, CECs are asked to complete a form with the top 5 priorities in their district. The forms are due sometime mid-January. This year I don't have the date yet, but my colleagues that handle that portion will be reaching out if they have not yet with that date. Consultation and review. So we'll review the capital eligibility guidelines, ensuring that the projects that are being requested meet those thresholds, costs, minimums, and determined by the comptroller and enforced by Office of Management and Budget. Review the capital plan, identifying what planned projects are already funded in the district. Identify a program in the capital plan that might be classified as capacity, CIP, healthy schools, etc. We'll review projects with custodial engineers and DSF for maintenance and or repair items. We look to consult with principals about projects ensuring agreement on priorities. Submission guidelines. So the CEC will prioritize 5 projects on their request form. SCA, to keep in mind, SCA does only major capital renovations. For building maintenance or projects that are ineligible, principals can request repairs and have conversations with their custodians and also our DSF colleagues, their DDFs, the directors of facilities. SEA's annual capital plan presentations provide an overview of changes to the plan, and we highlight the specific projects and funding in each district. The last slide that I have that I'll keep on the screen for a moment is our contact information. This includes myself, I'm my Director of External Affairs, Miss Yvette Knight, our Director of Reso-A, Brian McGinn, and also the email address for our CEC building comment form information. That concludes my presentation, Quentin. I'll turn it back over to you for questions, comments, and so forth.
Thank you, Danielle Schaff. Appreciate that presentation and that overview. I know we have questions. I wanted to give our council member, Alicia, a question.
Hello, Ms. Schaff. Thank you for coming in. All the information is very, very useful. I know you get a lot of questions. Hey, can my school be qualified to repair bathrooms or repair playgrounds? And those always appear to maybe hypothetical questions. I have some details to share with you about a certain school that I visited recently and found out that some of the school construction authority projects were started but never were finished. I would like to share some details. I will share my screen as well, if I can. I'm sorry, this is too small. Can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay. On November 19th, I visited school MS-217 in Briarwood, District 28. The tour of the school was conducted by Principal Angela Tuchman. She is present here at the meeting today. The notes were taken by me. The following observations were made during the tour. The school hosts 6th grade students in a trailer, which is detached from the main building. The trailer shows signs of water damage in hallways, classrooms, bathrooms, interior and exterior walls. The boys' bathroom is permanently closed due to standing water on the bathroom's floor. The old rusted pipes can no longer be fixed by the school's maintenance to prevent water leakage. The walls and pipes are crumbling in the bathroom and throughout the building. The 6th graders take an outside path to access bathrooms, cafeteria, gym, and auditorium in the main building. The trailer was built as a temporary addition to the school. Its longevity was estimated to be 7 years. The trailer is 25 years old. It is not compliant with the building codes. Next to the trailer is the small yard acting as a soccer field. This yard surface is uneven and partially covered by standing water. A city park is adjacent to the school. The students use the park before and after school to play soccer or basketball. The park surfaces have countless numbers of potholes. Missing parts of the soft covering under the playground are trip hazards and have caused multiple injuries. The park's equipment is old and lacks functionality. The park is not maintained by the city. The trash is not picked up, the leaves are not removed, the trees are not trimmed, and the broken equipment is not replaced. Every morning at 7 a.m. on school days, 2 school security officers check the playground and remove homeless individuals from the park to ensure safety of the students. Consumption of recreational drugs and alcohol by the general public is a regular occurrence in the park. Inside the main building, 2 construction projects are not finished. In summer 2025, blueprints, when prepared by School Construction Authority, is signed by Principal Tuchman in order to start building a STEM lab and an exercise room. The school agreed to prepare 2 rooms for the construction. The school spent $100,000 to remove the old lockers, check walls for asbestos, prepare walls, floors, ceiling, plumbing, and electrical for the new construction to begin. In September of 2025, the School Construction Authority notified Principal Tuchman that they will not hold the end of the agreement. The project will now move forward. The principal's requests for explanation have not been answered. The cafeteria is not well lit inside of the main building now. The dark green floors, the low-hanging gray ceiling, along with the poor illumination, make the cafeteria unwelcoming. Tables on wheels are used in the kitchen and the dining area. These tables were introduced as temporary measures to improve functionality and sitting space. They lost their appeal and functionality over years. The original floors show signs of wear. The gym is a good size. The walls are not padded, and the bleachers and the floor show signs of wear. The roof of the main building has been upgraded. However, the solar panels were not installed after the upgrades as originally planned. In conclusion, the main building is in need of remodeling to provide the students and staff with a safe and functional school. The trailer building and the yard are in extremely poor condition. The trailer should be replaced with a new building, and that new building be attached to the main building of the school. The STEM lab and exercise room should be finished according to the prior agreement with the School Construction Authority. These are the STEM lab that is not finished. A room was cleaned by the school, but it has not been converted to a STEM lab. The school is waiting for the School Construction Authority to explain why the project was stopped. Here you can see it's a large space. All equipment from inside was removed. There was locker rooms. This is a bathroom that is not functioning at all inside of this space. This little photo shows how all the walls were prepared for the future renovation. This is a cafeteria, and the food is served in these temporary carts. Normally, you would see kind of a serving line where the staff can see the students. Here, it is not the case. And the walkway here is very short, not wide at all. And there is the city park. If you look at the pavement, it's pretty much non-existing. It's a trip hazard. Nobody plays at this park. It is always empty and abandoned. The leaves are not picked up. The water fountain is not functioning. Here, the leaves are never picked up. This area is permanently a swamp. This small storage space was used by school in the past, but it was broken in by the general public way too many times. Now it cannot be used anymore. And now the trailer building. It is in a critical condition. Standing water and water damage in the interior exterior walls are shown in the pictures below. Here you cannot tell, but this is clear standing water. This is not a picture of the floor, it's a picture of the water. The signs are placed for the children not to use bathrooms. The water damage on all of the walls inside of the trailer. Exterior looks like this. This is the trailer. It is detached from the main building, and this is how the walls and benches of the park look on the outside. This is a soccer field that you could never guess that it is a soccer field. And this is the basketball court. For children, on blue wall is the side of the trailer. To get to the bathroom, the children will have to take this ramp, go around the tree, walk alongside of the main building, and enter this door with a butterfly on it. It will take them to the cafeteria. There is no bathrooms right behind that wall. They will have to continue their journey to get to where they need to go. And these are bleachers from the gym. They are not in good shape. They're very old. This is the gym, which is nice and spacious, but needs remodeling. I will stop sharing. And the question is, Ms. Schaff, how can we help the school?
Okay, so I think that that's a lot of information, a lot of good information. I hope I captured most of it. I was taking photos because I don't know if we'll get to talk about all of it today. I think a good place to start is with our colleagues at DSF and to address some of the maintenance things that I can identify as maintenance related items that I'm sure our counterparts, our custodians, would be able to help investigate and see where they can assist in the items that would be maintenance related. There were some things here that would not fall within SCA jurisdiction. So I want to point out, as you yourself stated, it's a New York City park. So the property is a jointly operated playground with DSF maintains let's say, and Carmine, please correct me, or Michaela if I'm misspeaking, but they would maintain the area during the day and to ready it for the students for their use on a daily basis. But Parks Department is responsible to maintain the overall surfaces of that playground. So I want to make sure that on this meeting, everyone that's seeing those slides understands where the accountability lies and or rather the agencies that are responsible and what we're responsible for. With that said, the park's playground there is also a very good project that could be a Reso A project. It could be funded by an elected official and it would be designed and constructed with the assistance of school construction under the design protocols of New York City Parks Department. They would need to play a critical and pivotal role on how the playground could be renovated and brought up to different enhancements because Parks Department has very specific requirements on what they allow, benches, turf, surfaces, etc. in the New York City parks. So I just wanted to talk about that one. The gym, we would need to assess it with a BCAS report to see if it's something that would be eligible for an SCA project. So for you and your CEC, you could take an opportunity to review the BCAS, look specifically at 217 and the gym components. You had spoke about the floor, so you could see the ratings on the floor, and also if it needs padding. But this is another project that if you wanted to, if the school wanted to, Principal Tushman could allocate for a Reso A grant to get that upgrade for the gym faster, and to have that come to fruition. Anything in the gym that would be done, a project could only become an SCA Reso A project if it's over a threshold of $50,000 and the components need to be capitally eligible. Capitally eligible means that the components or the upgrades that we do need to last for 5 years. You spoke about a room conversion. So, and I know the principal's on, so she can participate in the conversation. But what my notes here are showing is that yes, back in January of 2025, we were aware, or rather my colleagues in our Reso A department had conversations with our principal, and she had advised that she demoed room 201. At that point, the project was not fully funded by the elected official. That is why the project has not yet moved forward because the funding has not yet been secured to cover the project. We are anticipating, or have rather, been in conversations. This project was referred back to the legislator so that additional funding could be provided so the project can move forward. We're anticipating this for now fiscal year 26 with another allocation from the council person.
Who is the council person?
Offhand, I don't know. I'm reading the notes that I have in our system. I could look up on a map right now. I'm not sure. Principal Tushman, who's your council person?
Is that Schulman?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely look that address up for you, or we could look it up in in a few minutes, but I don't want to take away time from more conversations. So regarding the TCU, that's actually considered a mini building, not a TCU. It's not a trailer. It's considered a permanent structure. And that is something that we can look into and circle back with having further conversations with our colleagues at DSF and see how we can look to provide enhancements to that facility. Let's see. Park, gym. I'm pretty sure I missed a couple there, right, Alicia?
Yes, the cafeteria
Oh, the cafeteria.
as well.
So again, regarding the cafeteria, the spaces, sometimes space is constrained just by the size of the area itself regarding when you talked about the walkway and so forth. That is a potential, another potential Reso project. And you could also review the BCAS and see if that would be a potential item that your council, if the assessments were rating at a 5, which is in poor condition, then that's another project that you and your council may look to prioritize on the form.
Sorry, I know I couldn't unmute, and I saw that you were trying to unmute me while I was trying to unmute myself. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. So yeah, so the city council person is Gennaro, and
Okay.
we've been in touch, and I'm aware, as you know, I'm taking over the school just in April, so a lot of this is all rollover from from me taking over in April. And we've been working together. Obviously, your CEC has come and visited, so it's great to have this representation. I appreciate it, and I hope to continue working together with CEC, SCA, DSF, and City Council, and as well the borough president. I know that they have interest in supporting 217. They want to make this happen. They want to see this work. I mean, not only at my school, obviously at all of our schools. Most of us are pressed for space in many ways, and so it is. 217 is not an anomaly with the fact that we abut Parks Department land. And so it is a tricky situation with making sure that the land is maintained by both the school and the Parks Department. But we really could use, as you can see, multiple upgrades. And so I look forward to hopefully getting those things to happen over the course of time. So thank you. Thank you for hearing us tonight.
Okay, so I marked down that it's Gennaro, so we're just the cafeteria, the room, the gym. I'm sorry, I'm checking my photos to see if there was anything else that Alicia had. The roof of the main building. So the roof with the solar panels, that I have to look into. I don't know that offhand. I'm sorry. Okay.
Michelle, would it be open to have join kind of a committee that will have representatives from CC, Queensboro President Office, yourself, or someone from your department, and DSF, so we can jointly look at all of those items and have a good productive start in tackling them.
Sure, I think a good way to start is that you can actually email myself and Carmine the list that you had displayed, and we can take a moment to assess it and review it and use that as like a starting point of how we can move forward in getting you the support that the school needs or guiding in the correct direction, such as Reso grants or so forth. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Yeah, we will, because I think our biggest concern at this time, again, not just my school, I'm speaking for any school that has what we call the T building, right? These temporary structures that have become not temporary. So I think for us, that's extremely pressing. And I know that I'm not the only school in this situation. So we will absolutely continue the conversation offline, and I appreciate it.
Right, and I just want to clarify that that building is not classified as a T building or a TCU. It's classified as a mini building. So it's a little different than like the TCU removal program that I spoke about earlier. And yes, just to put it out there, like we are aware Principal Tushman has reached out to SEA along with the borough president, and we have had conversations, right? So we started these conversations back in the summer regarding the request for an annex or an addition at the site, and we've had these conversations, and we need to really, I think, take this more towards like discussing this with superintendent and Office of District Planning regarding management of the capacity or the seat availability there, and how to move forward, because you are parks land and that's with alienation, it's kind of a complicated process. So we can definitely explore those further. Okay. I'll turn it back to Quentin for
No, thank you.
question
And please,
management.
I'm sure you have more questions that we have for you, Danielle, but thank you so much, Danielle, for presenting. Right now, I'd like to make a motion to um, put parent public comment before our council member comments.
Second.
Thank you, Lauren, for the second. And so right now we are going to our public comment. And our first speaker on the list is here in person. And then we're gonna take care of the list that's here online, which is Jessica Silo.
Hi, I can't believe it's December already. Two quick items. We still are having Q54 bus issues at Metropolitan Educational Campus. The bus continuously just quits, will not stop at the location. We also seem to have a backup for the 23 and the 54 farther up in the bus route because of the bus redesign. So we are looking at gathering more information from parents and families. We'll probably also submit it to the community board, as well as to you guys. So just be on the lookout for that. But the bus, when kids get out of school, especially on Wednesdays at 2:15, where both schools basically empty out all at once, and it's a lot of kids waiting for the bus, the Q54 just decides sometimes that they don't want to stop. So, and they have been reported, they think that it's a continuous same bus driver that won't stop. And so we keep the principals and others, I even reported them to the MTA. But again, that seems to be a continuous issue for the Q54. And if we're relying on kids having the MTA for them to get to school, it should be on time. And actually, a parent brought up an excellent question. While we have dedicated MTA buses to take the kids home, is it the same way when they go to school? So just put it out there. And then my other question was really in regards to the middle school application, and I wanted to ask if Dr. Hall was able to look at that issue where the number of like, or the percentage of you being able to get into the school has been fixed, because I think that's a turnoff for many parents, that they may not necessarily apply to the school if you don't think you're gonna get into it. And I don't think that should be the case. So that's it.
Thank you so much for the question around the middle school application process. The request was made and we followed up, and we hadn't noticed a change just yet. So my hope is that between now and our January meeting, we will not only have made the request, but we'll also see a change in the system where the application will reflect what options are available for District 28. You're welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. And our next public comment is our PEP representative, Adriana Alicia.
Good evening, everyone. Adriana Alicia, she, her, here for Queens CECs. Apologies, I'm in my bedroom. My kid's making his Christmas list. I represent the Queens CEC presidents on the panel for educational policy, which for anybody who's new here is the school board for the city of New York. We just have a weird name. Everybody else gets called the school board. We get called the panel for educational policy, or the PEP. The next PEP meeting is going to be held on Wednesday, December 17th. So next week, it is going to start at 6 p.m. at the Evander Childs Educational Campus in the Bronx. So that is the December meeting. We're going to come back to PEP meetings in a second. Last night, I attended a community meeting regarding a potential co-location at PS80 with a D75 program or D75 site. And I was joined by panel member Oban, who is the Queensborough President's appointee to the Panel for Educational Policy. So she's my counterpart. I love working with Shirley. And we were also joined by panel member Fair, who is a mayoral appointee to the panel. A number of parents and other community members expressed a lot of concerns, and those concerns ranged from site selection to the appropriateness of co-locating a general education school with a D75 site, or what I was hearing was the appropriateness of co-locating with D75 entirely. I think it's critically important that the community have the school community have additional opportunities to have their concerns be heard, whether that be in a public format before we go into the joint public hearing, but preferably this is my preference and an ask, as I'm aware of how much work it's going to be, but preferably if the district could provide additional supports to the school community in the form of D75 information sessions, most importantly, to dispel a lot of the misinformation around D75 and the way that the D75 site co-locating with your school would be beneficial, and the ways in which it does not change the day-to-day operations of the original school cited there at all in many ways. I think it's also critically important that we organize additional listening sessions, additional sessions in the vein of the session last night, which was hosted by trusted members of the school community, right, school administration, and members like myself and the other panel members were invited to come in and listen. I think that was a very effective format for last night's meeting, so I appreciate that and would love to see that happen again, because I don't think there was much resolution last night at all, if any. As of now, this utilization proposal is slated for the February PEP meeting. The details for that meeting are available on the website, but I will share them here next month. Probably going to get lost in the holiday sauce anyway, but I encourage everyone to attend and participate in the public comment section. Please email the panel also. Please email me. I'm going to share all of those email addresses in the chat momentarily. And I'm happy to join in on any of these sessions that I've suggested, happy to help plan. I don't want to volunteer anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. But thank you for the time, and I look forward to seeing what we're able to do next. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Adriana, and all the work you do on the PEP for us. We really appreciate you. Next, we have Elizabeth Ziba. Still here?
Is it super?
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to go to our next parent, our UFT representative for District 28, the one and only Bruce Zihal.
Good evening, everyone. So it's great to see all of you. Thanks, Dr. Blake, for your presentation, your leadership of this district. It's great seeing Dr. Pate once again, our former superintendent. She did a wonderful presentation as well. Dr. Remy's presentation, let's not, overshadow that in any way. I mean, the tremendous improvement of that school is incredible. All right, to go from scores talking about percentages in the teens to where they are now at 53 and 64% is a credit to the leadership of that school and to all of the educators in that school, the UFT members, the teachers, the guidance counselors, the secretaries, the paraprofessionals. Just truly amazing. I do want to share one thing that the UFT has coming up that's important to parents. We have an IEP workshop at the Queens UFT on December 15th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And this is a workshop where parents will learn the IEP process, their role in it, anything from initial referrals to guidance on how to read and interpret IEPs. So that's a very important workshop. What I do need to focus on now, I really, really appreciate the presentation by Alessia Bauer about MS-217. I can truly speak to that school personally. That is a school that I have served as a teacher at for 34 years. And I know all the repairs quite specifically as are needed in that building. One thing I want to definitely speak to is what is called the mini building outside, but I have to tell you that building has always been called a T building, right? Why is it called a T building? Because yes, it's a temporary building, all right? It was not intended to be in that schoolyard for 25 years. And the UFT this past June, actually our industrial hygienist conducted a survey a survey and an inspection of that T building. And I'll just read to you what the DOE received from us about that building. This is a critical situation, Danielle, and I'm asking you to please get in touch with Principal Tushman ASAP about this T building, because we must do something about this immediately. This situation has been going on too long. All right, so the recommendations of our industrial hygienists of the UFT are demolish the mini school building and build a new school addition. This would be a more feasible solution than continuing to repair what is happening in the building. This building is prone to dampness under the concrete slab. It cannot drain properly. There is constant moisture under the floor of that building. And when Alessia showed some of the interior pictures of that building, where you saw the vinyl molding like peeling away from the bottom of the wall, that's because of the dampness that always exists in that building, which our custodial staff is constantly trying to battle mold in that building. We've had several instances where they've had to clean that building of mold, all right, over the years. I know this personally. I've been at the school for 34 years. We need to tear that building down, and we need to build something new. We have the class size law that school, it's the second most overcrowded school in the whole district. All right, MS-217. All right, we need more space there. The obvious thing to do is to tear down that T building, build something more substantial. So if the Parks Department is in the way of it right now, we have to get together with the Parks Department and we have to do something, because this building is a danger. So with that said, everyone, hopefully we can all work together on this. I know Principal Tushman and the administration there is doing the best that they can. The UFT has been in there. The DOE knows about this and is doing nothing. All right, so we have to do something now. And with all of that, I do wish everyone a wonderful holiday season.
And we appreciate that. I just want to take this time out to one, We have our elected official. I'm going to give her a chance to speak. Sarah Badassi from Leora Comby's office.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on. I just want to quickly, briefly say um, some updates from our office. I work at the New York State Senator Comrie's office as a scheduler. Um, I want to say some important information for our families, that HEAP applications are now open. I also want to, you can call our office. The number is going to be 718-765-6359. I'm also going to post that in the chat. You have to make an appointment. The appointments can be done on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our HEAP specialist will be there. HEAP stands for Home Energy Assistance Program. So you can make an application with us and we can help you. Also, lastly, I want to say about property taxes exemptions are able to be renewed. You can apply for senior citizens, homeowners, disabled homeowners, clergies, veterans, disabled crime victims, and Good Samaritans. Again, this is for tax exemptions and or rent freezes. Lastly, I want to say thank you for everything you guys do at CEC28. All were wonderful presentations, and thank you. Also, feel free to email me. I have posted it in the chat. And if you want to get updated for our weekly emails from our New York State Senator Comrie, just please attach your first name and phone number to the email. Thank you.
If you could just repost that in the chat as well, so it could be a lot further down. Also, do we have any principals still here with us tonight? Just raise your hand. And you can bring greetings. Oh, you want to bring greetings again? Oh, well, you didn't bring greetings last time. Principal Tishman?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you were just saying hi?
Oh, yeah. No, you said raise your hand. Somebody unmuted me.
No problem, no problem. Thank you. No, just bringing greetings. Just want to acknowledge you guys because we appreciate the work you do. So thank. And we have Principal Jacob. Lau.
Thank you, Quentin, for the recognition. Great to see you. Just want to wish everyone a happy holiday and a happy new year. The next time we'll all be together in this way will be 2026. So, Quentin, thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for your partnership with my, in terms of my hat as CSA chairperson for our district, and wishing you all the best. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you too. Thank you. We have Principal Hanley.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy to be on the meeting this evening. Thank you for all the wonderful presentations. They were great tonight. And Dr. Remy, congratulations. Wonderful presentation. We are very grateful at PS54 for being held harmless for our register loss. We are excited now to have funds that we can use to work with our MWBE vendors. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. And we have again our wonderful Principal Dr. Remy.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you again for allowing me to present tonight. Happy holidays to everyone. Can't believe that we're already in December, and next year, as Principal Lau says, was the next time we meet, it will be 2026. It was great being on this meeting this evening. I haven't been at a CEC meeting for a long time, and so I'm really proud and happy to have been part of it for this evening. Thank you for everyone for all the well wishes, and I wish everybody a happy holiday. Oh, and thank you to Council
All right,
Member
and I want to go
Chantel.
back to our parent on the list, Elizabeth Ziba.
Hello everybody. I just had
a couple of questions. One being, is there a plan to reduce the class size at JHS, Junior High School, 157 Halsey? Currently, there are only 3 or 4 classes being reduced, and the rest of the classes are about 33 students. And secondly, I've been asking these questions many times already. What is the plan for children with dyslexia in the district? And thirdly, question regarding iReady. Is it just being used for the diagnostic reasons, or is it mandatory for students?
So Ms. Ziba, iReady is being used for the diagnostics for students. That part is
Dr. Hall?
mandated. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Quentin, can you hear me? Okay. Yes, Ms. Ziba, thank you for your questions. I was sharing that, yes, iReady is being used as a diagnostic, and it is mandatory for students for the VOI, MOI, and EOI exams. Some schools are also using the instructional toolkit that comes along with iReady if they have had the funds to purchase it. And some schools are using that in addition to the diagnostic assessments. As it relates to dyslexia screening, we do have IEP teachers in our schools that have been trained in the various programs that support learning for students with dyslexia. As you would know, not all of the teachers, but teachers with certain special education licenses and teachers that are IEP teachers have been prioritized for that training. I think there was a third question that I missed. Ms. Ziba, can you remind me of it?
Okay, just to the reason I'm asking you the question regarding iReady is because Halsey seems to be mandating 2 hours of iReady for each student, and my daughter who has dyslexia and reading interventions has done 1.5. So I don't think this is right, and that's why I'm asking. I'm asking to confirm. And so, yeah, my daughter does not have
Okay.
IEP. What is she being, is there a way for her to help? She has the 504 plan with dyslexia. And my third question was about the class size currently at Halsey, which has 33 students in each classroom.
So the class size applications were all, they're in the process of being submitted this week, so we can get back to you on that for 157. And with regard to iReady, there is a prescribed number of minutes, a recommended number of minutes for students to be on iReady per week. So that would be the reason why the school is recommending or asking your child to be on iReady for X number of minutes or hours for the week. But that would be a specific question that you can work with your child's teacher or the administration at your school to discuss why you have concerns around the amount of time that the child is required to be on iReady. But from iReady, there is a prescribed, a recommended number of minutes per week for her to be on. Ms. Ziba?
Yes, I was just unmuted. So the school seems to be mandating the hours,
Okay, thank
it's not being
you.
recommended. Okay,
And
I'm gonna
just
reach
want to
out. I'm going
mention,
to
since you
copy
brought up
you on
the class size committee is planning on having a class size committee meeting. So we are in talks about it. We're thinking about this month, but since everything is still going on, we're most likely going to be having that starting of the new year next month. So look out for the class size committee meeting where we're going to go over all class size and especially how it reflects on District 28. Thank you for that. But now we would like to call up our parent leader, Sasha.
All right, there we go. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Quentin, it was very nice to see you at the UFT event. It was always great to be able to see our CEC members full in action. So it was nice to see you and Jennifer there. Like we were chatting, I wanted to raise an issue that directly impacts the parent engagement and equity across all of our schools. Our parent coordinators, family leadership coordinators are meant to bridge between families and the school system, like the DOE. But right now, the role looks very different depending on the building, right? So some principals truly empower their PCs, others use them as office support, same title, different, same expectation on paper, but very different reality for families in some schools. So there's a lot of inconsistency. That inconsistency works against the chancellor's parent engagement empowerment goals that she set out. PCs and FLCs are often underpaid. We know that they, are like, we have Sonia here after hours at 8:41, and they're placed in an impossible position. They report to principals, so they're pressured to meet building needs, and even when that pulls them away from supporting parents in meaningful ways. And at the end of the day, parents are the ones who lose. So we're hoping that we could be able to be good advocates and be able to see if we can make a movement to have our PCs and family leaderships under the FACE leaderships, or our PCs reporting to our family leadership coordinators. It's just clear accountability, like stronger alignment to the citywide goals, and more equitable delivery of parent engagement across all schools. Like, we shouldn't have really good PCs in one school and others that are lacking. So if we're really serious about empowering parents, then the structure needs to match that mission. And placing PCs and FLCs back under FACE ensures consistency and protects the integrity of their role, and allows principals to focus on instructions while family engagement is handled with expertise and equity. So I'm asking for CEC28 and Adriana on the Queen's PEP, if we can support and elevate these concerns to the chancellors and the Office of FACE to seriously consider restoring the reporting structure. And again, this is about honoring the purpose of these roles and making sure that every family, regardless of the school, gets the support that they deserve. So thank you for your time and consideration about this. Hope you guys have a good night and happy holidays and happy new year.
Thank you, Sasha. And it was great seeing you at that event, and we'll be seeing each other a lot more at all these other events that we're going to attend. Sonia, would you like to respond on this? Or FLC?
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you this evening. Parent, I don't know where to start, right? When it comes to family engagement, I'm so passionate about it. And because I've been in the district for so many years, I've seen the different shifts in terms of when we were under FACE, when we were in the superintendent. My title has changed so many different times, but I think at the core for me, I'll start speaking for me, is my commitment has never changed, right? The way that I've operated has not changed. And I think that that's the testament of the unity that we have as a district. There have been many changes in terms of our parent coordinators. We've had many of our coordinators retire. So we have an influx of new parent coordinators. I know one of the challenges has been the salary. Let's start even with getting parent coordinators in the school, let alone streamlining their roles. But that has been a challenge across the district and across the city. So I agree and want to thank Sasha for naming that. Salaries are very low. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the camera on and it's not working. So that has been a challenge. In terms of the work that we do here to really make sure that all the parent coordinators have the same resources, the same tools. That is a commitment that I have. But, at the end of the day, every school community is different. And so every parent coordinator meets the needs of those schools. But again, I think that that is a bigger conversation that I, again, thank Sasha for bringing up in terms of how do we align the work that we do, not only in our district, but just across the city, because it does look different. Even the work that I do looks different across the district from FLCs to FSCs. And that is true, but thank you for that. And I look forward to, future conversations about how we can align the work and really get committed, to uniting our commitment to families. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. And yes, you do a lot of work, and we appreciate all the workshops that you do, empowering us parents and enlightening us of all the things that we can do as parent leaders. So we appreciate you always, and thank you for always taking that extra step after hours for us. We see you. We appreciate you. Next, we have our last public comment, which came after 7:45, but we could not just let our past amazing council member Simone just go unheard. So Simone, you are up.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to put a face to the emails I have been sending Miss Danielle many, many times. And thank you so much for being here tonight. And also, I just wanted, we bombarded you with questions in the chat, not in any way to criticize you or even attack you, rather to show concern and also to declare that we parents are partners with you. We have an issue here in Queens, but also really in District 28, where the class size law is very, very hard to implement because our schools are so overcrowded, and we really need to start planning since building schools takes a long time. You know that better than us. And so my request here is please assist us in helping us support you in building new schools. You know better than us how we can go about it. I would like to keep the avenue open to be in conversation with you and really as a partner, not as an angry parent, because I know that when we work together, we can do great things. So that was all I wanted to say. You know about the situation, we do it, but we need to start working on it. And I also fully understand that SCA is not the only agency responsible, but if you could help us to get started and to find a way so that we can do something about it, that would be so helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Did you want to comment on that, Danielle?
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. I apologize. Sure, no, I would love the opportunity to comment on that. And as Simone points out, it is a challenging project or problem concern that faces not just District 28, but the whole bar, all five boroughs at the moment. We have been and will continue to work very closely with New York City Public Schools to identify opportunities to create additional seats in our existing buildings. We also work with them to citywide funding for nearly 16,000 new seats to target the individual schools that have been identified with our superintendents and ODP. We are focusing on the more overcrowded areas. I know the chat, there was something like what I think 2, 4, 6 different schools needed, 2 on each level. Somebody requested was saying 2 PSs, 2 middle schools and 2 high schools. I don't know if that's accurate regarding the seat need for District 28, especially high schools. High schools are done across the 5 boroughs. They're not done by a specific district or even because they're a choice kind of operation. But we do focus on looking for real estate in districts and sub-districts with the many overcrowded schools. We have a lot of strategies that we implement regarding addition and existing school campuses if it's feasible. We look to obviously acquire new real estate for new school construction, leasing opportunities, and room conversions. As you mentioned, Simone, the process with a new school site is long. We have to purchase real estate, get approvals from city council, start the design process, and then do the builds. So the more immediate solutions are what NYCPS and SCA, DSF, and Office of Space Management has been doing, and that is to look at the space that is within the buildings first, while still assessing the need for the new buildings. So I can say we're in design in Queens with probably at least 10 schools right now that are new on the agenda just since last year. So we are very aggressively attacking the situation with the new seat creation as well. I know this year's projected seats don't look like a large number. Someone mentioned that in the chat. You're right. This year coming up 26, it's only identified for the 40 something seats at Halsey. But in the past, we have been very heavy opening multiple new buildings in District 28 some years and creating lots of seats. This particular 2026, we don't have a large building coming online for the district. And I'm hopeful that next year we have different information to share for 27. And there were a lot of comments in the chat, and I really appreciate the comments. I want to share any knowledge that I have to help guide and to put everybody on the right path to I'm a parent. Before I worked at SCA, I was a parent who didn't know how to advocate for everything for my own kids' school, and I do live in Queens. My kids are in the public school also. So I really want to be able to help give as much information as I can to connect all the dots for everyone involved. I did try to answer every single question that's in the chat. I'm reviewing it again to make sure I did. If I missed anything, guys, please email me directly. You have access to me all year round, not just at capital amendment presentation time. So don't don't feel just feel free to email me anytime you'd like.
Thank you. I want to ask the Spanish interpreters, do we have any questions in the chat or on the Spanish line?
No questions on the Spanish line at this moment.
Okay. All right, so that ends our public session. Thank you, parents. Like you guys were speaking for our community, and we really appreciate you guys. And now we are going to go to our council member reports. Council members, it is 8:52, and it will be in our best interest to still keep our reports at like 2 minutes. But recording secretary, could you please do a roll call for our 2-minute council member reports?
All right. We have our first Vice President, Lauren Clavin.
Thank you, Chantel. Good evening, everyone. It's hard for me to think about much else at this moment, even though we know there's a lot going on in our district. My heart is really heavy thinking about the 6-year-old child who is separated from his family and has been separated for a week. This is not the first time that this disgusting administration has done this to children and families in the guise of the safety of our borders. But there's something different about when it's a New York City public school student and such a young child. Not only that, but we know that this morning, ICE agents were posted on in Jackson Heights along a route where families walk their children to, I think there's 7 schools along 34th Avenue. That's an open street that's open because so many families are traveling to and from their schools to take their children. And so it's appalling, it's terrifying. I want to uplift our neighbors in District 30 who within 24 hours convened an emergency meeting this morning that I was at. Quentin was also there. And as always, all my respect and admiration to Whitney Toussaint for how she uses this seat that she holds as a CEC member. I aspire to be like her one day when I grow up. And I think what I learned from that and what I will do in our capacity, because there is incredible work happening on the ground, that a lot of it is happening behind the scenes for safety reasons for the volunteers and also for families who are most vulnerable to ICE. And I know that that is happening. I want to also be sure in my capacity as a CEC member that we can be prepared instead of reactive to these situations, because this is not a CEC 30 issue. This is an all of us issue. All of these children are our responsibility, and not to fear monger, but it's going to hit our community as well. And so for my part, I'll be reaching out to all of our elected officials from city council to the federal level. If you do not know, in this district, your congressperson is either going to be Gregory Meeks if you live in Kew Gardens or South, and then it's Grace Meng if you live in the northern part of our district. I would encourage you, as I have done, to give them a call and see where they're at on this, because it's not just the specific representative that covers the area where that child and his family live. I want to know what they're doing and what their plans are. I will be speaking to my fellow council members as well to see how we can support our families. CEC30 is going to be holding a series of workshops, whether that means that we collaborate with them or we have our own series of workshops for families. I know that this information was given out earlier in the year, and principals and school teams have been trained, but there has to be more that we can do, and that's I'm going to leave it there for now, but to be continued. And then moving on. I attended an SLT meeting at one of my liaison schools, PS 349. And among other amazing things that are going on in that school, they brought up how they're looking to further support parents to be prepared to support their students and advocate for their kids at their IEP meetings. And I just wanted to mention this resource. It's called the Parent Member Program. I was trained as a parent member once upon a time. All you have to do to qualify is to have a child with an IEP currently or within the last 5 years. You get paid to do it. So I'm just going to share the link in the chat. That's if you want to volunteer, if you feel like you have the skill. I've been to a million bazillion IEP meetings at this point, it feels like, for my kid. It's very intimidating. If you've never been to one, there's so much jargon. You don't know what you're doing. All these people are telling you what your kid needs, and you may not agree, but it may feel like you can't disagree in public. So we could all use an extra eyes and ears, and that's what the parent member can provide. They are trained in how to support a parent, and it is a parent's right, any parent's right who has a child with an IEP, to call a parent member. All the information is posted on the chat, in the link in the chat that I provided. You have to call them, I think, 72 hours prior to your IEP meeting, and they will be there for you. And I also want to share, if anyone is interested in being trained, it's a great thing to do. Include NYC, which I always plug Include NYC when I can. They provide incredible resources for parents of students with disabilities. They're training parent members. They do it on a rolling basis. The next training is January 16th. I put the link in the chat for that. We're all here to help and support one another. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Lauren. We'd like to call on our second Vice President, Jennifer Sobers.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say a loud thank you to Alicia, and thank you to Bruce for bringing the issues of the school up to light, and for speaking passionately about it. And I'm really very proud to be on this council with such amazing people. I attended a meeting of the Association of Black Educators, ABNY, in November. They gave a report on the progress of the Black Studies curriculum, and they shared feedback. And I liked particularly that they gave progress about positive things that were happening, but they also discussed some of the challenges, and they've conducted surveys to see where the program could be improved and be even better. And it really gave me the sense that this is a serious effort to make this a really impactful and robust curriculum. So I do give a shout out to them, to the schools that have implemented it and are continuing to make it better. I attended the UFT parent conference workshop that was mentioned by Superintendent Blake, and it was such a great day of positivity and support and encouragement for families. In addition to the workshop that I spoke about last time that I said I was going to go to by our awesome Sonia Rueda on working with challenging people, I attended a workshop on making dreams and goals come true, which was really eye-opening regarding relationships we keep in our lives and the effect on our goal setting and achieving. There were other workshops that talked about supporting your children's needs. There were raffles, information about IEPs, health issues, food. There was camaraderie. I'm highlighting this because I just want to encourage families to consider attending for next year. I heard from some families that the parking on Queens Boulevard is really bad, and that was discouraged them. And I hate looking for parking. So I did take public transportation, and it was definitely worth it. So I encourage families to attend next year. I attended SLT meetings for my liaison schools. The first time I was able to attend this year for PS50, and I got to meet Principal Walter, the new principal there, amazing person. They reviewed their CEP goals. One highlight that I see a common thread, I think, in schools that are doing quite well, like Principal Remy, is this positive behavior intervention. So he has something, the school has something called Starbucks, which is, a similar type of incentive program for students to do well. Another highlight was they have a wonderful Title I program, and the head of it. And they have some great classes there that they're working on supporting unique learning styles, neuroplasticity, and so on. And the SLT is brainstorming additional ideas for incentives for children to come in and lower the chronic absenteeism per one of the CEP goals. PS55, they dedicated their SLT time to the important SLT trainings that I encourage all SLT members of all schools to take, because it really does help empower the SLTs, particularly the parents, to become active members. And I always encourage, because I've been on SLT and I've seen how some parents may not be as empowered, and it's very important. So I shout out to principal for allowing that SLT time to be taken for the training. I'm very excited to attend the SLT meeting for the Young Women's Leadership this month and strengthening the collaboration between the school and the CEC. I want to say I love this time of year in New York. It is when people do less elbowing and growling and more door holding, and there's so much more compassion and kindness. And I sometimes even dread January because, I think we go back to the elbows and such. I'm proud that the CEC sponsored the Harvest of Hope, which I know our awesome member Kenya will talk about. I was able to attend, and I just wanted to say that I just love that young people came out to volunteer their time to support those in need. I just really love that. I encourage that. I took my children out on Thanksgiving to do some community service. And it could be anything. Community service is anything. We were at a church. One of my children, she helped serve. The other one sang with the church choir. And it's coming together and being in community with one another, and showing that there's strength in numbers and that kindness always wins out. And so with that, I want to say, happy holidays to all, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Now I'll give my report. So one of the things I definitely want to touch on is Alicia and Bruce's comments. I want to thank you so much for your advocacy in this arena. One thing I've been seeing, especially where there's property that is jointly operated with the Parks Department, I see a lack of communication between people who are supposed to be jointly working together. It's very disheartening. It's very frustrating to when you reach out to one agency, it's like, not me. You reach out to the other agency, not me. Then who is it? So, there has to be some accountability where that is concerned, and there has to be communication where that is concerned. You can't jointly operate something if you're not speaking to each other. So I'm experiencing some of that with PS 354, their playground, where it needs to be renovated, but nobody wants to take responsibility for the renovation. I think this is really a shame, and our kids are the ones who are suffering because of that. So hopefully, we can get everyone together in one place to discuss these things and really come with a real solution. So some of the other things that we did this past month, I must highlight my fellow council members who put on an awesome middle school and high school admissions fair. It was a great success. And we also had a representative from the Office of Enrollment to answer parents' questions. It was well attended, and we learned a lot about the greatness that is in District 28. So we get to see why we call it the Great 28. So I think the council members that we all work together to put together these two awesome admissions fairs. And I look forward to continue to do great work like that throughout our term. I also was able to attend a parent advisory board meeting with the Queensborough President's Office. They discussed Reso A, they discussed SCA and the capital planning. They also discussed how parents can also be more involved in the community by joining community boards and what process, the application process for that. So if you're interested in that, definitely look into the community board that is in your neighborhood and see how you can get involved. I also, Lauren mentioned including NYC and they had an IEP meeting for parents to show parents how to read an IEP. So I thought that I was a part of that, one of those workshops. I thought it was a great information. And, as I said, I believe I said last month that I am looking forward to helping parents and supporting parents in those types of meetings. All right. And I look forward to working with all of you, for lovely parents and principals and school communities. Wish you a very happy and safe holidays. And next we have our treasurer, Elisa Bauer.
Hello again. Bruce, I was taking those deep breaths with you as you were talking. I saw how compassionate you felt, and I didn't know how much you know. So I hope we will continue to work together and create a committee that will help us to get the Master 17 in much better shape. Thank you again. On November 12th, I visited Halsey SLT meeting where a small classroom size compliance was discussed. I know parent here, Elizabeth Zayeva, was asking questions about Halsey and overcrowded over their classrooms. That's exact topic was discussed at SLT. I shared my email address and the link to the next SLT meeting with Elizabeth in chat. Principal Akona Lisa continues to be very proactive with all the resources she can get, Reso A and others. She is in the process of applying. She understands that temporary buildings, that the Master 17 is now trying to get rid of, quite honestly, is not a solution. She knows that has been offered to her and she is not willing to go for it. I do know that Ms. Schaff already mentioned that one of the projects that the School Construction Authority did take on, it is Halsey School. Thank you for that. And they have plans to perhaps convert their basement, school's basement in the classrooms. It is not accessible school as well. They have hopes to make school accessible. They need elevators, they need ramps. And I will be attending the next SLT meeting, which will be on December 10th at 7:15 a.m. in the morning. I hope to see Elizabeth Zieb there as well. And if she cannot attend, I will ask her questions that she asked here at CEC at SLTs of her school. Along with Chantal, I attended Parent Advisory Board of Queensborough President's meeting on November 25th. This was very informative. It was nice to see the people who we will potentially to work with, we would like to work with regarding all of this capital funding projects. Shout out to Dorinda, who is the most informative, patient, and kind person who is willing to meet with me a couple times a month to give me help with my role as a treasurer. And I attend President's Consuls, and last one was on November 20th, and we got some new information and some updates on financial business of PTAs, and that is all I have.
All right, thank you, Alicia. I just want to give a quick shout out to our case representative, Tamika, and the great support she is to all of us. Now we'll have our member Lu Zhao give his remarks.
Hi, yeah, I can turn on the camera. There's had some problem, but that's okay. First of all, I think thank Quentin and Laura mentioned the CCO, children's. He's Chinese, so that's kind of a really big issue recently in the Chinese community. I think a lot of have said and I agree with that. I think also I just want to add to it. I think we should talk about it, right, among us and to our children. So I think it's a kind of a teachable moment. Last year, my son, got involved with a project, have something to do with immigration level, etc. During that project, I kind of embarrassingly found his really lack of understanding of immigrants' life. Ironically, he grew up in an immigrant family in the community, but a lot of things take for granted. I'm fortunate enough, have all those privilege that compared to that kid and family and a lot of other people in my community. So this is the kind of thing, you can tell them, what's actually going on. It's not just like your life rosy and comfortable. So that's one thing I want to, shout out to people. And also thank you, Alicia, mentioned the thing. A lot of things you talk about, it's kind of a universal to other school, maybe as not as bad, but similar situation. It's kind of make me feel a little shameful because for so many years I definitely haven't done enough or on this level. But I have witnessed a lot of similar issue. I think I talked about that before. Probably in the previous council and one of the issue is a lot of the money or project got approved, but it take a really long time to finish. So last year when I visited PS 54, they have a project already approved. Money was allocated supposedly, not in the pipeline, right? So it's in the pipeline, but they have done all the work, but nothing happened. This year, when there again, still nothing happens. So a lot of things take a very long time. I think we need to ask for some kind of a clarity, like what exactly going on, like checkpoint, updates keep on going, why this have been done. So it's just not just approve project or recommend project is not enough. It has to be done. And I think that one of the in chat, some people talking about the security camera. First of all, I do think it's necessary. In a lot of situation, they need to maintain the security of the area. For example, in 54, they have a playground and it was constantly got vandalized. So we want to install a camera, and we see the number, right? I think it's 15 camera for $5 million. I don't know. I mean, I have indoor camera on my own driveway. I don't know. I mean,
$5 million.
I don't know. But for PS54, I know they were estimated that project just a few camera monitor the playground will take 1 year. So again, something I don't know. I mean, that work take me about afternoon. But anyway, so that's another thing, and I think another thing, I mean, I will we set up an interview for the parent coordinator for PS3 next week. This is one other thing is, I think Cruz, Ms. Cruz talk about this, like the responsibility for the parent coordinator. One of the issues is the turnover is really, really heavy. Like every 1 or 2 years, you're going to have another one. Then they take time to familiar with the community, everything. So yeah, I think that's something. And along the way, also school counselors, right? So when we're talking about the admission issues, middle school, high school admission issues, I think middle school slightly better, but the high school is really, really complicated. So that's why when Quentin asked me if should we do it, I said, we definitely should, right? Maybe just a little help, but anything, it's it would be nice. Just because it's approaching to the deadline, a lot of parents, a lot of parents knows, me, I know a little bit, those things, so they reach out to me. Just 2 days ago, a parent reached to me kind of in a panic because his daughter want to apply Beacon, and Beacon require a in-person essay assessment, and it's already too late to register. It's he said, oh, I click that form, it doesn't open because it's full. So those kind of thing. One, I mean, you can blame the parent that didn't do the job well. Like it already a few months, right? So he just realized that there needed this thing, but we know a lot of parents, most parents I think are probably not familiar with the process. All those details, each school has different things. Second, they don't have enough counseling, right? So every middle school, they probably have one counselor handle every student's admission issue. So they cannot do any individual help. Basically, like things like this, you can't count on them. Similar in the high school, apply to college, which my son is going through now. You can't count on them to. I mean, you're lucky to they do the minimum. That's how much you can expect. Third, I think the process definitely can be better. For example, if this is a mandatory, if the student apply to the school, can you put this after the deadline and automatically register everyone apply to the school and things like that. So you don't have to rely on the parent to up to date, up to task, right? So this very it's also an equitable issue. I mean, honestly, some parents know and have the capacity to do it. A lot of them don't. Then those kids will be impacted and hurt. So that process definitely, if you take the responsibility from the parents into the system, it will be much better. So those are the kind of thing going forward. I think next mayor come up and they probably will do something different. Let's see, we can raise some more specific recommendation, maybe resolution or something to help out that. It's definitely a big issue. That's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lou. Now we have member Annie Koch.
I'll begin my report by saying thank you to everyone here. It's always a pleasure to come every month and reconnect with you all, and also working with you throughout the month, because this job is a full-time job on top of the parenting we have to do. And, I want to highlight the fact that the things that come through my inbox every day and the chats we have on a daily basis with our team right here is very challenging to my mental health as a parent. And it is a big sacrifice that we are making, which makes today and all the other consecutive meetings we're having in the future all that important for the future of our children. And it's not just in present time, because the decisions we make today will impact. And the things we say in the room at every moment will impact the future, because this is not something we can predict. And this is the part where a lot of parents, I would say, in meetings such as these, SLT meetings, it's like a very high level of emotion there, because our kids are in the system. Our other people's children are in the system. And I've been a teacher for many years. In my heart, since I was 25 years old, I'm in midlife now, and I want to see the change that I set out to be. But as a teacher, my hands were tied. And at every given moment, there was always like there was a disconnect. But coming back here warms my heart to be in the right place at the right time. And if I want to just, highlight that, I'll highlight that here. And I could see the passion in everyone's voices and things they say. I have only one report for one school, and I'll highlight my meeting with Lynn Schulman. And that happened because of all of you. Every one of you gave your 2 cents, and that really helped me understand what we need to do. And I wrote that email, and she responded directly and called me in person and asked me how she can help. It turned out she did not, the district lines were redrawn. So because of that, Lynn Schulman was not responsible for PS61 at the time. And then over the summer, it was passed over to her, area. And she apologized profusely and said, "Oh, sorry, we overlooked the school. What can we do to help?" That was what she said upon walking into that meeting. And that impacted me, because I'm like, here's a person who's taking accountability, responsibility for things she could not do and but slipped. And that's amazing, because along the way, I would say that she brought in intergenerational wisdom. I would say I will highlight that. And that she, in her visit, asked the children directly in the classroom. They were invited in, and she asked some very personal questions. And those children gave very honest answers. All they wanted was their theater program. They want the money, the resumes that were up, I think CASA funds, I believe. Again, the other ask was, please visit 161. And the other ask was, Lynn, can you help us understand what resumes are? Can you help us understand what CASA funds are? She said, you know what, I'm going to have my budget and legislative director, Kevin McClair, come and actually talk to the parents here at CEC28 in a private Zoom, or even, I don't know the details on about it yet, because it's kind of just landed in my inbox today. So I have to talk to you guys about it and figure out the logistics of that meeting. But it wouldn't be great if we all could understand the jargon and the terminology behind these acronyms, right? Because I'm new to this, and I want to learn alongside you and we're all learning in different ways. But at the end, the result is we have 2 terms. We have 1 term with 2 years. I want to do my best job here with the best of all of you. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you. And now we're going to have member Kenya Townsend to speak.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging in here with us. I just wanted to say a big thank you to the entire CEC community, 28 community. We did host a Harvest of Hope, as Jennifer mentioned, on 11/25, where we gave out oven roasters and turkeys and several items of groceries in the bag. We had over 40 volunteers. I'm going to put in the chat, just if you want to see the video, and also photos from the day. Shout out to Jennifer for coming through. Simone also donated money, Jennifer as well, GK. So we had a lot of support and we really appreciate it. And thanks to all the organizations. So I'm happy to do that on behalf of the outreach committee for CEC28. We were able to feed 120 families. I have not done any school visits between last time and this time, but we do have a school visit jointly coming up. So I'm looking forward to reporting on. That'll be my last school that I finally get around to being able to visit since I started here in September. I also wanted to highlight that I did have an opportunity to attend the education presser with Queensborough President Richards, along with some of the other appointees on the 17th to just celebrate the $40 million that he donated to the schools here, which was happy to be able to attend that with several folks. I did go to an event yesterday. New York Urban League had a town hall about education and justice. And there were 2 key speakers, but one of them was former Chancellor Misha Porter. And so had an opportunity to hear from her. And she really dropped something that I wanted to share with you all. I was doing some research while she was talking, and I'm going to also put some things in the chat. But most people probably do know that the Portrait of a Graduate did come out earlier this year, and that is going to be the new requirements for preschool all the way through 12th grade. So they're talking about it now, and it's going to go into effect as of fall of 2026 or 27. And so there's lots of things that we should be thinking about, and maybe it's a presentation around like what that means for our K through 8 students, right? Like what do they actually skills they need to have to be able to now achieve the portrait of a graduate. And then I think that goes hand in hand with something that has been a topic of conversation in a lot of places, just around the decline in sort of like basic skills that students have. And, things like not knowing their phone numbers or not knowing home addresses or not being able to tell time, right, on a regular clock or even write legibly. And these are things that directly impact the students that we are serving in K through 8. And so I know, and Alicia, I appreciate you telling us about and sharing the report about the things that are going on in schools like that. But also it'll be great to have schools that we will have buildings and everything will be good in that way. But also if the students do not have the skills, then is it all for naught? And so I just think it may be imperative for us as a council and as a community to really talk about what the portrait of a graduate looks like and how that is going to impact what our students need to be learning when they're in 3rd grade, right? And so the other things that I've been reading is just like math is down 9 points, reading is down 4 points, but if you were already behind, those actually even increase in numbers, right? So that's for the people that were already ahead. And so I just think that that's really important to really get ahead of, right, the changes and see what we need to be talking to our schools about doing to ensure that these students actually have the basic skills and the knowledge skills, right? Like it's great to be able to code, but if you're bored or not interested in class and not coming, then that becomes an issue. So I just wanted to make sure that and I will, again, like I said, put that into the chat so you all can read that for yourself. But that is the end of our report. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kenya. All right, and we'll have member Paquita Williams to speak now. Whichever one of you get there first. All right, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna have Eric speak now. Eric Gretsch.
Hello. So I don't have much to report, but thanks for having me. It's been very exciting being here, and I've learned a lot already. I see I have a lot to do. The portrait of graduate, I'm gonna have to talk about at home because my kids don't know their phone numbers, their addresses, and they can't tell time. So I'm not doing too well right here. The writing skills we're not even gonna talk about. So, but I'm excited to get going. I've looked into the schools. Quentin and I had a quick conversation earlier this week. I do need some advice about how I reach out and who I reached out to at those schools so we can get this going. My guess is nobody will want to meet with me in December, but I'll try to get everything set up for January.
All right. Thank you so much, Eric. Welcome to the team. And Nikita.
Let me take this slow. Dude. Okay, can you see me? Because I can. Okay, can you hear me? Good evening. Good evening, all. I want to first say thank you for all of the people that did presentations. Thank you so much. I laughed when you were talking about the address, the telephone numbers, all of that. And, I think that's something that has to be taught at home, and I have well, the baby, he's 2, but I have 5 children, and they don't know the address. We live in building 15. I'm like, but where? But we'll work on that. Thank you for talking about the IEP. I have some children that they have IEPs, and at one time, and still I'm learning with that. At one time, I didn't have a clue on what they were saying to me, and I didn't want to appear like I didn't know, and I didn't know, and I just smiled, and and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna, and your child need this, the OT, and I said, okay, I had no clue, like OT when they give the the letters, like I didn't want to say, well, what are you talking about, but now I know there's a booklet, Your Parents' Rights, and I didn't know how important that was, so I'm learning, I'm still learning, so. So thank you, everyone. But I had an opportunity to visit one school so far, and that was PS 101. And I met with Principal Zachary Mack and the parent coordinator, Miss Renee, and the student council, which PAL, and they call it Positive Action Leaders, So it was a beautiful school. It looked like a little castle up in the gardens. It's really nice, really nice. But they had a few issues, and I'm going to make it short. They have something is going on because I asked them, what can the CEC, how can we assist you? And they were telling me about in their auditorium there was so the work was approved, the money was there, and somehow it stopped. It stopped due to something with the air monitoring, the core drilling, something with the electricity for something in there. I don't know. I'll follow up more on it, but They just said to me, it's the air monitoring. I'm like, okay, okay, I'll pass that on. The auditorium, they wanted to upgrade the speakers in the auditorium. I think that's basically what they were talking about with that core drilling. They want to do some work with the park, not the park, the playground. Um, they well, the kids, they want a soccer team. They want an area for to play soccer. They want an area for some other activities. They have where, yeah, the kindergartners, they have a park area where they go. So the bigger kids want an area for them. So they're working on that. Let me see. I'm not going to hold you too long. I asked about, the parent engagement because that's something that's big, with a few schools that I've dealt with in the past, parent engagement. And they were telling me there's like 600 students. And at the last event they had, it was about 400 parents showed up. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. We were feeding parents and couldn't get four there. But anyway, that's another long story. But anyway, it's just I went into a classroom with the kindergartners, and they were doing an experiment with the pumpkin, and they had asked the children about, well, what do you think? What's going to happen? And they were saying, oh, the pumpkin is going to be a zombie. It's going to be this. That was their little ideas of what this pumpkin would be doing. They have something called BTV, which they're very proud of, and it's like their radio station, and they've been featured in the news, he told me. But it's their radio station. They make announcements that the whole school can hear. In each class, the whole school can hear the announcement for whatever event is going on. And that started, it had something to do with COVID and trying to keep people informed on what was happening. And it just continued. So they're very proud about that. The ELA, they said it's up 89.7, which is really good. The math was up 89.6. Let's see. So they were very proud about that. And there's some work needs to be done on bathrooms, but that's another story that we'll deal with at a later time. The school was well kept. Well, when I went to visit, it was clean in there. They gave me a list of the SLT meetings. Hopefully I'll be able to see the next one. The young kids tell me about the cafeteria, but that's a janitor's issue. So yeah, they wanted to point out that the chicken nuggets on the ceiling, but that's a janitor's issue. But anyway, they have some new school, the new boards and the new smart boards and the new laptops. And he said something about the grant was provided by the borough president, as I heard, with Resolution A. But anyway, that's about it. I'm going to visit the school again and pull it all together. So thank you. I hope I covered everything. But if not, oh yes, the parents said there's Spanish, Creole, Chinese. That's all sent out. They speak, that's sent out the language so parents can know. And they got a whole bunch of stuff going on. But anyway, that's it. It's 9:38.
Thank you so much, Pakita. And yes, it is 9:39 and it's let's welcome our president, Quentin Messerton.
Thank you, council members. I don't need to reiterate some of the things that you guys mentioned. I appreciate you all. So I was able to attend the PS80 meeting to notify. I sat with the SOT about the um, addition of D75 into their second floor. So that's what Adriana mentioned a little bit that they're voting on, which is good. Let me just mention something. We do not have a lot of elementary seats for D75 students in our district, and District 28 is the only district where students in elementary school travel more than 3 miles. So when you hear those stories about kids being on the bus for 2 hours, it's mostly our students because we travel the farthest because we do not have enough seats in our district. So this is a big plus for District 75 families that can finally stay in the district with their children and not have their children traveling to other districts for the same services. So I'm definitely excited at that addition and looking forward to it. The admissions fair hit home today just because, not this year, because my son is graduating elementary school. So I was paying deep attention to that fair of all the great things that District 28 has to offer. So I have a lot of schools on my list. So I'm looking forward to how that's going to turn out. Um, for everybody else, we have until December 12th. So don't miss it. Don't be late because it's way more complicated. The Queen's Parent Conference with the U of T was amazing. Got to sit with Jennifer. I missed you, Adriana. I missed you, Bruce. Missed you, Sonia. But I saw Shirley, and it was great. And I won one of the raffles, so that was always really appreciated. I went to the PEP meeting, which they agreed to the 3-year contract for busing, even though we wanted 1 year with accountability, but we agreed to the 3-year, which was better than the 5-year. So we're looking forward to hopefully getting these bus concerns resolved. As you heard earlier, it's not looking like they're stepping it up, but that's the hope that we have. Hold them more accountable and stick to OPT. And Queens High School for Sciences. Yeah, there's a new building and there's a meeting that I actually spoke to the chancellor at our monthly CEP president's meeting. And I asked her personally what's going to happen to that building that a lot of parents have been, wondering, is this building going to house the students at Queens High School for Sciences, or is it going to go to another school? So the chancellor didn't give me an answer because they're still working behind the scenes. However, she did say that we will get an answer this month. So it's hoping the answer that we want, but we definitely want an answer. So even if it's what we don't want, we know what to protest. And other than that, I am visiting PS40 tomorrow with Principal Cespedes. So I'm looking forward to that visit because I've only heard good things about that school, and now I get to walk the grounds and see it in person. That's my report. I forgot. I'm not host. So, um, so other than that, the time is 9:42. Um, um, Translators, do you have anything on your end?
No questions on the Spanish line.
Okay. Well, thank you. And before we go to our business meeting, I just want to wish you all a happy holiday season. Stay safe, love your loved ones, and just show empathy and patience with everybody else. We're all doing this together, and this is a season to be jolly. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all next year. So time is 9:43. Meeting is adjourned. And we'll take our 10-minute break for actually a 7-minute break so we can get out of here.
Just that easy, right?
Asking for that for the longest. Yeah. All right, recording is on. Time is 10:02. We're going to start our business meeting. So we're going to call this meeting to order. 10:02. Right now, first vice president. Do we have any absences from last month?
Roll call.
Let's do roll call first before you answer that question. Recording secretary, please do roll call. Recording secretary.
First Vice President Lauren Clavin.
Here.
Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Here.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers is here. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
Here.
Members Lou Zhao.
Here.
Annie Koch.
Here.
Kenya Townsend.
Here.
Nikita Williams.
Here.
Eric Gretsch. Thank you. And sorry, my bad. All right, and our president, Quentin Messerton.
Yeah. All right. Next, call our first vice president to talk about any absences.
I'll remain was absent, but we are going to deal with that in a moment. That's all I have.
Thank you, council member and first vice president. Next, we want to adopt meeting minutes from our recording secretary.
Here are the meeting minutes for our November calendar and business meeting. This has been posted on our website. Will be posted on our website. Do I have someone to adopt the minutes?
Move.
Good. You adopt the minutes?
I was about, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And Quentin seconds.
Awesome. Next, we got to take a vote on the mean seat. I'm going to share screen with the resolution.
You don't have to share it.
Oh, we don't have to share it? All right, so the resolution for a means vacating of the seat was sent in the email to everyone. As long as everybody reviewed it, I'd like to set a motion to vote on approving this resolution to officially make his seat vacant. Second.
All right. Second.
All right.
We have to take a vote on it.
Yes.
All right. Voting on the resolution to vacate seat. First Vice President Lauren Clarence.
Yes.
Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Yes.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers. Yes. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
Yes.
Members Lou Zhao.
Yes.
Annie Cope.
Yes.
Kenya Townsend.
Yes.
Peter Williams. And Eric Gretsch. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. And President Quentin Messenger. Sitting right next to you. You know?
Yes. All right, so it's unanimous. So we will put that together and just get that resolution approved and sent. Next on our agenda is we have the candidates that were interviewed already and their applications are still active according to FACE. So FACE just let us know that their applications are still active. Those candidates are GK and Alex. Forgot his last name, but Alex and GK are still active candidates for the 2 vacancies. So tonight,
We can't vote on Alex.
oh, we still can't vote on Alex
No.
because Alex is still going through the vetting process. Earlier, as of today, an email was still sent out consistently. We've been in touch with Alex and with FACE, and we're all waiting for ethics to just approve or not approve, but we're in limbo, so he's still just, if you play spades, he's a possible. And
Can we table this in this case because we have the vote anyway.
Hmm?
We have to come back to it anyway, right?
Really?
So I know I'm
We're gonna have
saying
to vote next
regardless,
month.
we
Yeah.
have to come back to it anyway. So
Yeah.
so can we just table it?
Okay,
second
so
that.
I don't think
Yeah.
so we got a motion to table the voting on the vacant seat. Hmm? Yeah, so what you call? So let's do a roll call. We had it second, right?
Mhm.
Roll call.
What do we roll call?
Okay.
Lost. It's tabling.
Tabling
Yeah.
it. As per the suggestion per Lou, which was we're still gonna have to vote next month because FACE has not given us an approval or not approval for the other vacancy. So since we're going to be in this situation again anyway, we might as well just do both at the same time. Correct?
Mhm.
All right, let's do that roll call.
All right. First Vice President Lauren Clavin.
Yes, please.
Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Yes.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers. Yes. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
Yes.
Members Lou Zhao.
Yes.
Annie Cope.
Yes.
Kenya Townsend.
Yes.
Peter Williams.
No.
Eric Gretsch.
Yes.
And Quentin
Quentin
Yes.
Someone can say you have to go last, and I'm like going down the list.
Yeah, yes. Okay. No problem. So next, we're going to have our CEC budget modification by our treasurer, Alicia.
I'll share my screen to show our budget. Okay. Sorry about this. Oops. I don't know why it does that.
What are you,
Does it on Zoom mostly. It doesn't do it in real life. It's so funny.
Oh,
Let me close it. Let me stop share. Sorry about that, guys. Let me reopen it. Chantal, where did my bar with sharing went?
Oh,
All the way. It usually is.
it's usually down there, yeah. Let's go this way. Yeah, and then hit share.
Thank you. So I had to expand the screen.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
I just did that. Okay. Dean Tolbert, line 24, requested via email to allocate his August and September reimbursement to principal legislative breakfast. It is right here. It will be $250. We will say 0 here. Amin has been removed from the CEC due to the no communication. It was decided that his July and August reimbursements will be allocated to principal's legislative breakfast. So we take Amin right here, and July and August is gone. And we have in November, we did not have Eric on board. He will not be using, cannot use his reimbursement money. We had also 2 other vacancies that so far is called Dean because he has not been replaced, and Amin as well. If you can see zeros in yellow, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 multiplied by 125 will be $875. We will take it out of member reimbursements. You will just have to believe me that I did math before that. This minus 875 will be 14,575. We will add that number here, which I did not calculate at home, pardon.
So
to that.
Kind of do it on the spot.
3, yeah, I'll just count here. 3, 6, 4, 6 plus 850.
875, no?
Oh, 870, thank you. Thank you, Chantal, 875. So this number now becomes 4, 5, 2, 1, and that should, whoa, let's try this again. This will be 4, 5, 2, 1. And now we're back to 25,000, which usually gives us an idea that we did this correctly. I will save this, stop sharing, but I would like to ask, I make a motion to approve this budget with these changes.
Second.
Thank you all. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. And before we leave, I just got
mention for the record.
So
Tonight
tonight
we just
we
passed
just
a
passed a
motion
motion
to
to um,
postpone the voting on candidates
candidates
until next
until next
meeting,
meeting.
waiting for Alex to be possible to be vetted and approved. But now we're also back into the same realm of we have an active
Active
candidate
candidate that is available that
we could have
we could have
voted on
voted
it,
on,
could
and
have
it
been
could
a
have been a
no, could
no,
have been
could
a
have been a
yes.
yes, but we
Could have still
still
voted, but we chose not to vote. So I just gotta put that out
put
there
that
that
out there that we are going to have 2 open vacancies next month.
we're
We're
going
going
to
to
press to fill
these
these vacancies.
vacancies.
And just want to
Just
remind
remind
everybody,
them,
we do
we
not
do
have a line out the door of people wanting to be on this council. And we need to take that into mind as we go into this holiday season, and then we'll come
we
back
come
in
back in
January
January
with
with
capital
capital
planning,
planning, which is a long meeting with the legislative breakfast with
different
different
schools that we
schools that
haven't
we
been
haven't
able to
been able
visit,
to
but
visit,
we're
but
still
we're
sending
still sending
emails for their
their
surveys for
services.
capital planning. We'll be in touch with that in emails, how we're gonna do that. But we need to take that into account, because if we have active candidates, then it's on us to kind of make a vote. However that vote lands, we still have to vote on the active candidates as they have applied and they've been approved by FACE to be eligible candidates. So I guess my next thing is we're going to just still open the vacancy, because now we still have 2 vacancies on our council, and we'll set up a new deadline, probably around the
Around the
holiday.
holidays,
And
just
the
seeing the
timing.
timing.
That's
It's
actually interesting, because
interesting
now
because
it's
now
gonna
we still
take
need
time to
time
vet
to
it, but
fit.
we will do what we have to do, because we do need to fill these vacancies, because then we're gonna be out of compliance again, it's gonna be over the days, and then that's gonna be back on us. But if we have eligible, active,
If
available
available
candidates,
candidates, it's
something we
something
need to
we
take
need
into
to take in
consideration
consideration if
those are the
those
only
are the only
candidates.
candidates to fill these seats.
Other than
Other
that,
than that,
anybody have any questions on that?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
go ahead.
To clarify, one of those candidates.
To clarify, one of those candidates has already been voted on by this council. So I'm just curious, can a person who has been voted down by a council at any point just continue to apply? So our essentially then our vote won't matter. Yeah. That sort of sounds as though we must fill the seat with a candidate, even though we already said no. And I'm not making it personal as to a certain individual. I'm saying in general, ostensibly, hypothetically, an individual could just continue to apply and we could say no 1,000 times and they could apply 1,001. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Sorry, I might. Yeah, that.
Decide if you want to have the vote, if you don't want to have the vote, you go in the executive session, but you already
Made a
tabled
motion.
it.
Yeah.
So you can just wait until January.
I make a motion, we don't table it.
Yeah. Kind of late.
Who's keeping track of the time?
Wait,
No.
Chantel,
It's the, yeah.
Yeah,
you can wait until.
Okay, I just have a clarifying question. Did GK reapply?
He did.
He did reapply. Okay. The next thing is, yes, the executive session that you mentioned, I think it would be necessary before we just jump in and decide to vote again. I think we need to talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
I know, not today, not today, just yeah, not today.
Have an executive session.
Right.
Go into that and have a discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess the next thing would be now we got to post a vacancy and put a deadline. So it's about, I guess, do we put the deadline before the holiday so we could all just enjoy the holiday and just we
You don't have to, you don't have
we don't have to have a deadline. We could just leave it open.
even if you pass the deadline, still apply. Petition, you get.
Oh.
Once you receive the application, you vet it, and send it to legal, they vet it, and then we send it
But
to.
nothing's, in reality, nothing's gonna happen
Yeah, so
during the holiday.
so it's just like,
Put a deadline to give you guys enough.
yeah, that's fine.
How everything has been.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
So yeah, it's like we come back January 8th to our meeting. We come back to school the 5th. So I'm like, are you guys, we could have candidates in there and then we could hit the same Alex situation where it's like, oh, we're just going to be held in ethics and verification until March. So that's why we like the deadline. That's why I personally like the deadlines to give y'all time to let us know if it's a go or not that we could even vote on somebody. But all right, it's a conversation that we do not need to, I guess, confirm right at the moment. But is there any other business that anybody wants to mention?
How do we, our committee, we created committees, right? There are quite a few of them. We've never met. How do we start on that?
You just throw in a suggestion. So like we have the several committees, and then like just like Kenya just had the idea of the Harvest for Hope. That was an outreach committee, and it was a great idea, and it just became that. So as we have ideas, if you have any type of idea, just bring it to the table, and we could see if it aligns with a committee, and let's do it.
So give you a few examples, right? So we usually had a safety committee. We had a town hall safety issues. We invest, like police department and fire department through safety issues. They do implementation and everything.
I don't think any.
Right. So that was something we done before. Yeah. Not necessarily, do it again, but just, something like that. There was, you remember, do you know William? William? William.
William?
Mhm.
No, that's it for me.
Anyway, forgot her first name, but yeah. Yeah. She did that. She's very passionate about that. So she organized those things, but you have to, like email all those people and get them on
Because
board.
I thought we created committees in our first meeting, right? And it felt to me like we created them for a reason. We already had ideas, but we never met to discuss them. I was just wondering, how should we go about it? Zoom meetings, just discuss amongst the committee members and just come up with a date and time and start meeting?
I'm
And
over there. Yeah.
I'll give you some guidance. Okay, thank you.
Cool. So,
So,
all right, then.
part of it-
All right. Happy holidays and
Enjoy.
Stay safe.
That's right.
Adjourned.
That's right.
Meeting's adjourned what time? 10:26.